Welcome, my good fellows, to the end of this game, finally! It only took, what is this, 13? 13 streams, that's crazy. Like, we could have finished it last night.
Yeah,
we could have, but for our own sake, it's...
yeah, like, this might only be an hour long.
That's fine, that's fine.
Yeah,
if it's an hour long, all good. So, that's to say, if you're showing up because you're clicking on Final, because I know you people do, I know the numbers on these videos, you might want to go back and watch the last one, because this is effectively a two-part finale. I could list it that way. I also have to rename all of these streams, because it's just, I just titled them The Great Ace Attorney, when, like, I need to call it, like, TGAA, and then the subtitle of the individual game. So I need to turn them all into TGAA Adventures.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So for the next game, it would be Resolve. I was looking for a unique image for the thumbnail for the final video, as I like to do, right?
Yeah.
Which I assume that the image I used is probably just like the final card of this game or something, but
yeah,
it was cute, so I was like, I'm using it. But I was like looking for more key art at this point, because initially I had just grabbed what I did, which is the image for the Chronicles collection, rather than the key art for the first game, because I didn't want to get spoiled on anything. I wanted to look as little as possible, but then have a thumbnail that would just fit into the ratio of the YouTube thumbnails. But then I was like looking for more stuff at this point, because we'd seen the whole game. And in this Chronicles art, for the other thumbnails, my non-perverted, destroyed, warped thumbnails, below what is in that image, and what would be in like a portrait style aspect ratio of that image, Gina and Koseki-san are actually in the bottom left, which I thought was cute. It's them like running away all stressed out. So that was cool. But then in the process, I'm like, I'm getting glances of the next game, and I'm like, I'm really excited for the next game.
Yeah.
Like, because I know it's not gonna have the problems of this one. It's not gonna have the growing pains of this one. It's just gonna be an Ace Attorney game from the looks of it. Because even for my own fucking sake, I was like, dude, does the next game have the horrible pacing and structure of this game, where it's 4 investigations in a row into 4 trials in a row, and it's like, no. It's investigation, trial, trial. And I'm like, oh, thank God. So I'm definitely looking forward to that one. So we might play that one sooner rather than later. But once we finish this one tonight, I'm not exactly sure what we're going to play next, but I'm probably going to take some time to finish the SMT highlight video, which I'm most of the way done with. It's probably going to be about 2 hours. Not too bad. Pretty easy highlight video to make, thankfully. Though I do have one little gripe. Not gripe. I have one little hang up. And it's that you started a joke early on that I didn't catch until like halfway through rewatching it. And I'm like, fuck, man. It's going to be a pain in the ass to re-find when you start that joke.
Oh, God.
And it's every time you bring up Beast Eye. So it wasn't until halfway rewatching it, I'm like, dude, he fucking would not stop with this. So I got some in there. I got like the good ones in there. But like that skill shows up decently early. But like I would have to check like every time we fused a demon or we're on a demon screen. And I'm like, fuck, because it is funny, but it's not gonna be in there.
Yeah, I mean, I probably said it like 5 or 6 times.
Oh, it was more than that. I think I have 5 or 6 in there right now after I had realized you had done it. But I don't know, maybe I got the important parts. But there is gonna be one pretty like oddly.
I definitely said it in the first episode for sure. Like, it's like one of the first skills that shows up in the game.
Yeah, I might have it there. I'll 3-check. I'm in the process of just laying everything on the timeline, so I'll do the finer tuning later. But there is a pretty, like, oddly, there is a really bizarre, like, deja vu joke I go for in the editing that will be funny if you have paid attention to the Cockturn video. Like, there's gonna be a moment. It's one of the few moments with Brad, and
Was you say something about Nozuchi?
no.
Okay.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but
Okay,
like.
okay.
You're gonna you might have to pause the video and look at what I have put in front of you based on the scenario that Brad is speaking within. So keep an eye out for that one. Keep a beast eye out for that one. But okay. Enough preamble waiting for people to fill into their seats. I'm not gonna explain anything. Fuck you. Go watch the other stream. We're in it.
We're coming right into it. Yeah.
Right,
it's
Tommy will be voicing Mr. Sholmes here, as I am voicing the rest of the courtroom at this point, basically. Take it away. Well, here.
time.
Here, let's look at the history real quick. We were at our very lowest. I don't believe it. After I've come so far. How is it all unraveling on me so fast? And then our darkest hour. Our voice kicks in. How very distressing to be held in such low esteem. Wouldn't you agree, Mr. Naruhodo? Officer, you've delivered the report now. That will be all, thank you. It occurs to me with some regularity, Mr. Naruhodo, that scientific truths are determined not by science, but by none other than the human mind. I know that voice. Am I going mad? Ah! Mr. Sholmes!
What is the meaning of this?
2 stand users have entered the courtroom.
Order! What business do you have here, detective? The last I heard, you were recuperating in the hospital.
I said you were a figment of the public's imagination. Get out of here.
As well I would be, had I not been set upon an errand.
I think he's
What
more
errand?
fuckable in the Bobby outfit. I'm not sure why.
Dude, kinda hot.
Harley, it's really you! You're awake at last! The mustache. It's
Good
gay.
day, Iris. I appear to be rather late to rise. My apologies.
I have a severe chemical burn.
Now, my lord, if you will humor me. In what manner, sir? I have something of great importance I wish to give to the young lawyer over there. I need no more than 5 minutes. Would you be so kind as to spare us the time? What say you to this, Lord Van Zeeks? This trial has taken many hours of the court's time, having spent so long already.
Exactly! I've been spent so long already. We don't want to go wasting any more precious time.
As I was saying, having spent so long already, it would seem churlish to deny the defense a mere 5 minutes.
Ah!
Very well then.
Gregson can't catch a
Counsel.
break.
You have 5 minutes.
Damn it!
My dear fellow.
Why aren't you wearing it still? I hate this outfit. All your other outfits are so much better.
No, it's true. It's true.
I met you in this outfit and I hated you then. I fell in love with you in the other outfit. Put it back on, you fucking homo man I love.
I did notice something. So you know how he's got this like flower design on his like outfit?
Yeah.
It is. It's also
it's on the door.
On the cat flap.
It's on the fucking cat flap. Yeah.
Yeah. I apologize for my tardy arrival.
Mr. Sholmes, are you all right now?
Right. I'm all wrong.
The light to my darkness, my wrong to my right. Sorry?
I've only just managed to summon the strength to stand, man.
Good. We need your stand.
5 minutes.
Oh!
But I fear even that may prove too much for me. Pray forgive me should I pass out.
It's not a final case if someone wounded hasn't shown up. Okay, let's make this discussion as short as possible then. Hallie, this place is full of idiots! None of them can see how wonderful your chemical blood analysis is.
Well, that concoction of mine was really just a bit of sport to assist me in my investigations. I never took the trouble to refine it for appraisal by the scientific community. An oversight on my part.
Right. Modesty? Surely not.
But enough of that. I'm here to give you this, my dear fellow.
Oh, I was hungry, thanks. I was very hungry.
Take this bento.
What's that? A lavender furoshiki wrapping?
A leaving present. From Miss Susato.
From Miss Susato?
If possible, matters were to be settled without me giving you this. Those were her instructions when she asked me to do her this favor.
I don't understand. Oh my god, his eyes like flickered there for a moment. New song?
Miss Susato foresaw today's events, I believe. She knew that the culprit would attempt to escape justice by means both devious and underhand. And that you, Mr. Naruhodo, fighting fairly as you are, wont to do, would find yourself in considerable peril.
As you are want to do, not won't.
Yeah, I thought
that one's
it was
rough.
want to do.
Yeah, no, you had it right. Yeah, want to do.
At that very moment of crisis, you were to be given this small parcel.
If it's a Magatama, I'm flipping my desk.
Those were the dear lady's instructions.
A leaving present from Susato-san. Whatever could it be? Yep. 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 What is this? Oh! It's the machine I made! Oh. I'd be curious to know how many people got, like, blindsided by this.
I'm not sure if I would have noticed that if you hadn't pointed it out. I did notice the flower on the thing, and I'm like, obviously I recognized it being on the design of the gun and the other stuff.
Yeah,
but like I'm looking for it at that point.
Yeah.
Because you had pointed it out. I'll say, I probably would have noticed it.
Like
when you're holding the two photos next to each other.
Yeah, I think when you're looking at these photos.
Yeah, because like
you're looking for differences, and there's a good chance that you're gonna be like.
Yeah, I think
that's pretty defined.
Yeah. You did notice it crazily early with the from the thumbnail, effectively.
I did notice it from the fucking the pop up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know how that happened. I swear to God, I didn't know anything. I remained paranoid. I don't know. Look, I use this. It's my latest invention. And the fact that they pointed this shit out so early, and you're like,
yeah.
oh man, that cat just walked in. What is that? I call it the cat flapper mat. It can make a cat flap for a little furry friend like Waggy in seconds. Ooh, new Iris voice tonight. What's Susie up to? Like how the camera moved just a little bit up higher.
Mrs. Sato muttered the following words before she left.
Why didn't he ever break into my room and hang out with me?
I'm a failure. I don't deserve to be a judicial assistant.
Finally, emo sussy. What? Didn't she say something like that? Oh yeah, she muttered that. You really are the best judicial assistant in the world. Well, that's extremely flattering. But I'm sorry to say that I've been a complete failure.
Wait. I got one. It's not remain paranoid, it's remain Polaroid.
Main Polaroid. Whatever did she mean by that, Mr. Sholmes? He's dead.
That night, when you left Windy Banks in pursuit of the thieves, Mrs. Sato made use of this contraption for a certain purpose. Okay? It was sussy. This makes sense.
She did this instantly. Okay.
Yeah, this makes sense, because it didn't really make sense that it would have been Egbert or whatever, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, because the question's been, how did this person get a hold of it? And it's like, well, yeah. All right, it was Susato. That makes sense.
Yeah. That is your answer, dear fellow.
Not at all cryptic then. Susato-san used this cat flap-o-mat that night? But why? The cat flap-o-mat has been entered into the court record. He is so drunk by now. I guess he's throwing most of it away.
Your 5 minutes is over.
Oh, it's got a fucking chainsaw mechanism on it.
Yeah, makes sense.
That makes sense. Oh!
Anything, it's like weird to see that it actually is like a thoughtful contraption. I just assumed it was gonna shoot a laser that made a door.
Nope, we got chainsaw. Whew! Those vicious teeth look like they could rip through almost anything. They're good, aren't they? They're made of a special alloy I developed just for this job. The cutter rotates 10 times per second, so it can get through any kind of door in no time at all. And what are the two parts at the top there? Ah, those are for attaching the hinges in the section of the door that get cut out. Right. Of course. Nothing can match this machine for power. It can make mincemeat of even the toughest of doors. Sounds so charming and friendly when you say what it's for, but feels like the reality of the cat flap-o-mat is that it's a grim weapon for door destruction. Well, guy's so adorable that there's nothing I wouldn't do for him, even developing deadly weapons.
Huh? Oh, it's got
Dude, it's got the level on it!
The level.
Oh, that's awesome!
Wow.
I mean, I don't know where the wood's suddenly coming from to, like, magically get shot onto the door to make a flap, but hey, that's alright.
Well, it just needs to have wood for the hinges.
No, you're right. It's just cutting a hole. No, you're right. I'm thinking it. Yeah. I'm like looking at this and I'm like, what's this doing? It's like, no, that's actually like cut. That's sucking. That's eating the sawdust. Yeah.
It's like a face.
Why can't this exist?
There's no reason this couldn't exist.
That motor mechanism for the chainsaw would be kind of rough. It would have to have like a giant motor on like the bottom here.
Yeah, that's true.
And it wouldn't look as
Cute.
Wouldn't look as cute as chic, but yeah,
Like,
okay, all right.
This looks like a Mario enemy, honestly. Like,
Actually, kind of scary. The
cat Flappo-Mat.
Do not kiss the cat Flappo-Mat.
Sad.
Your 5 minutes is over. We're out of time already? I'm going to lay down now. Goodbye, everyone.
I'm grateful to you for affording us that brief recess, Mr. Reaper.
Is that the Grim Reaper?
I need no thanks, Detective. After all, the die is cast. Is it really?
Got him.
The jurors are unanimous in their leanings. No doubt my learned friend will consider a summation examination.
I don't want to consider it.
But any attempt to alter the verdict now would be utterly futile. I wonder... Mr. Naruhodo!
Yes.
The rest is down to you, dear fellow. What is your plan?
Rest is down to me. I need to be careful here. If I make a wrong move, the trial will end badly. My lord, the defense requests.
I mean...
I think it's... I don't remember what it... we have to prove that flap didn't exist. So, further cross-examination. Because his last cross-examination hinged on the fact that there was a flap. And we know there was not a flap.
Yeah, remind me, what did he say specifically? Egbert, that is.
He looked through... He got shot at.
Yeah, he's claiming
the brothers then aimed at Windy Bank. Windy Bank fled into the storeroom. Gina then shoots him. And he saw this happen because he looked through the flap.
Okay, that's what he was claiming. Gotcha.
Even though his whole thing ended on the blood on the jacket. But let's try further cross-examination and see where it takes us. Further cross-examination.
Objection!
The jurors have spoken. Protocol dictates that you may not cross-examine a new witness now.
Okay. The defense is not asking for the cross-examination of a new witness. Rather to continue with one of an existing witness that we suspended.
What? It would appear that a rather important detail has escaped your attention, Mr. Reaper.
My lord! Well, I guess this is...
Yeah.
Sholmes.
Requesting your lordship's permission to interrupt the cross-examination. Thank you, officer. Very well. The cross-examination is hereby temporarily suspended. I presume you have no objection, counsel.
No, my lord. So nobody can say anything then? Anything. If Bruno asks to resume his cross-examination of Mr. Graydon...
The court is obliged to allow it. This is absurd!
It really is.
I would remind those present that this is my courtroom. I concur that the defense is entirely within its rights to request the continuation of the cross-examination. However, I will not permit an unremitting protraction of these proceedings. Therefore, I have decided to afford the defense one final opportunity in concluding the cross-examination.
I was waiting for one of these.
Counsel, you must choose but one statement from the witness's testimony. And but one piece of evidence to present in support of your argument against it.
A single chance to present evidence?
If, following that, the situation remains unchanged, I shall move to adjudication. Is that clear, counsels? You will not press the witness any further. My lord.
Right, so I'm presenting a piece of evidence on a statement. Yes, my lord.
A single statement and a single piece of evidence. Most generous. Well then, Mr. Naruhodo. It's high time I fell in a dead faint.
Fell in a dead faint.
I leave this in your capable hands.
What a diva. Mr. Sholmes!
Detective Gumshoe!
Detective Gumshoe! What the hell? What is that word?
Stand so... Oh, fuck me, man.
Insociately?
To stand so insouciantly before the court in a state of such high fever. Either the man has extraordinary strength of mind, or an extraordinary lack of feeling. I imagine he's feeling very little now. The detective is sleeping soundly in one of the antechambers.
Strike a man when he's down, why don't you?
Well then, counsel, are you fully prepared?
Yes. One statement. One piece of evidence.
Oh!
I won't let Mr. Sholmes down. Or Iris. And I won't waste this final chance that Susato-san has given me. This is going to decide the entire outcome of the trial.
Very well. Then, under the terms I have outlined, you may resume the cross-examination.
Alright. Alright. While these ruffians were jostling with the broker, I was still near the entrance of the shop. When Windy Bank threw Nash over the counter, I felt a sharp pain in my arm. I pursued the man, but he shut himself in the storeroom. I could see him through the peephole in the door, though.
Good you know.
The accused in a black coat shot the man. Yep. Saw the blood spatter. Okay. So now we have to play. Now we have to play the coin toss game. Is it the photo?
Uh-huh.
Is it presenting the photo, or is it presenting the catamatic?
I believe we are presenting the catamatic.
See, I'm inclined to say it's the photo, and then we present the catamatic.
I think it's the catamatic. It's the
It makes
thing they
sense.
gave us.
That makes sense from a gameplay perspective. But if I just show this cat thing,
I know.
a lot of times it's not... I don't get to
That would
explain why I'm holding this thing. They go, that's not
yeah.
it. Contradict
Yeah.
what he said. But we're trying the cat thing.
Objection.
It's the cat thing, thank God, because they fucking handed it to us.
What on earth is that eccentric contraption, Council?
Oh, it's my cat flapper mat, my lord. It makes a way for cats to get in and out of a room. It can cut through any door you can think of and make a new little door in the middle of it. That's right, my lord. It's a device for creating so-called cat flaps. Small doors for cats to come and go as they please without their owners having to open the... I'm sure we can all work out that for ourselves! Ugh! Ow! But that cat lover's contrivance has no possible relevance to this case. Oh, really? Of course it doesn't! To start with, there was no cat flap in the pawnbroker's door.
Not being a keeper of cats myself, I'm afraid I fail to see what this has to do with the matter at hand.
Perhaps it would help if I described its function another way, then. This contraption is able to create a peephole in any door you can imagine in practically no time at all.
I beg your pardon. A peephole, you say?
Well, I am into voyeurism. Can I have that? 2 nights ago, we arrived at the scene only minutes after the murder of Mr. Windybank had taken place. That's right. According to the paperwork at the yard, it was you, your Japanese assistant, and Sholmes. Yes. The 3 of us were together, and it's recently come to my attention that my assistant made use of this device at the time.
Your assistant did what?
There was a peephole in the storeroom door. I can attest to that. Because I looked through the peephole myself in order to see inside the locked storeroom. This is ludicrous. What are you trying to say? Of course there was a peephole in the door. I said as much in my testimony. How else could I have witnessed the crime, for pity's sake? Got him! Yes. How could you? What?
Counsel, kindly say what you mean.
Alright. It's time. Time to strike the final blow. What I mean is this, my lord. My assistant made the peephole in the storeroom door, and until such time as she did, the door had no hole in it to look through. No!
Objection.
This is a farce! Are you really suggesting that the peephole in the door was...
Yes. It was created only after the incident had taken place by my judicial assistant using this device.
Your assistant tampered with the crime scene whilst being fully aware of the gravity of her actions. That is a most serious act of vandalism.
Where is she? For which I humbly apologize, my lord. It was in the few minutes that I left the scene in order to pursue the Skulkin brothers and alert the police. She didn't know it was a crime scene. All of you, fuck off! We literally couldn't see the crime scene until she did this. Nevertheless, in the light of this new information, it becomes apparent that Mr. Graydon's testimony is riddled with holes. Flaps, if you will.
Yeah, holes made by the cat flap machine.
He's a JoJo villain!
Oh
Fill it
my
full of holes!
God. Oh no!
Araki, put holes in this man! Make me uncomfortable!
No way, dude!
Oh, he
Riddle-
loves his holes, man.
Explain yourself! Counsel!
The majority of Mr. Graydon's testimony that appears to incriminate the defendant is based and actually cringed upon what he witnessed through the peephole in the storeroom door. Yes, that filthy girl shooting the man in the back. However, if at the time of the incident, that peephole did not yet exist in the door, there's no possible way that you could have seen what you claim to have seen. In short, your entire testimony is a pack of lies. Ugh.
Order! Is there any credence in this revelation?
Yeah.
Objection!
None whatsoever. As my learned friend must surely realize.
Exactly. This is just some cheap trick, Stan, designed to discredit me.
Fuck me, dude.
I'm afraid not, sir. Of course it is. Do you seriously expect people to believe that plaything can cut through a solid wooden door? Oh yes, I designed it to be very powerful. It can cut through even the toughest of doors. That's absurd! I don't believe it for a second! Alright. I had a feeling you'd say that. What? Waggy, Kiwi, time for dinner. Oh my god, she already cut a fucking door in the courthouse.
You were already cat flapped.
Holy fuck.
Holy is right.
Well, when did you do that? Oh!
Young lady! This is the Old Bailey! One does not make cat flaps in the oak paneling at the Old Bailey!
Oh, don't worry, I have the uncat flapomat. I'm not done yet. Don't worry. This doesn't mean that the peephole in the storeroom door at Winniebanks was made by your machine.
It does! It has its trademark on it!
And there's no way you can prove that it was.
We can! It has its trademark on it!
No, but it's easy. What? Nani? The cat flaps my cat flapomat creates are all of a fixed size. And the dimensions of the peephole at Winniebanks are an exact match. Old Silky's lost for words. Excellent work, Iris. Thank you.
And now it's my learned student friend's turn to be lost for words, I feel. I believe your judicial assistant has already left the country for your Eastern Island home.
Well, yes, that's true.
Then you may have some difficulty in establishing all the facts. For the sake of argument, let us assume the people has dimensions that are a perfect fit for this contraption. In that case, when was the peephole cut? The prosecution demands proof of your answer. What is the purpose of your line of inquiry, Lord Van Zeeks? It's very shrimple, my lord. The defense argues that the peephole was created after the incident using this device. But now that the perpetrator has returned to her native land, she cannot testify to the fact. There is no proof. And for as long as the defense remains unable to prove when the peephole was made, my learned friend's claim amounts to nothing more than a baseless accusation.
What?
Indeed, that is so, Lord Van Zeeks. Well, Counsel.
Don't give up now, Runo. This is the time to create your own opening and force your way through. I don't know if I can do this. But I do know one thing. Susato-san is the greatest judicial assistant in the world.
Very well. The counsel for the defense will present evidence to support the claim made. Proof that the peephole in the door of Windy Bank's storeroom was created after the event and not before. Imagine if you like presented
after
this
the
before.
event and not before. I feel like I want to show the photo where it doesn't exist.
Yeah, the 1 a.m. photo. Because it's not, here's it not existing.
Does not
At 1
exist.
a.m.
No one has made this at this point.
Yeah.
Yep.
What are you? Print from the detective's infernal cameras. Again.
My judicial assistant, Miss Susato Mikotoba, is an extremely intelligent and capable woman, which is why I never had which is why I never had any cause to doubt that she would have considered this scenario and made sure I had the necessary proof.
And the necessary proof is this photographic print. Counsel.
This print shows a scene in the shop moments after the defendant entered the premises.
Agreed. And it also shows the accused mercilessly wielding a gun in the direction of the defenseless broker.
But more to the point, it pictures the storeroom door in the background.
Let me see that print again. I don't believe it. This really is quite remarkable. The door to the storeroom is completely devoid of a peephole of any description.
Ugh. Mr. Graydon! You couldn't possibly have witnessed the crime as you claim to have done. Because at the time it happened, there was no peephole in the door. Ugh. In other words,
It's all peephole in the door.
your testimony is a catalog of lies.
Got the cap on in there. Order! I am satisfied the defense has substantiated its claim beyond all reasonable doubt. This witness's testimony was entirely fallacious. That's not the only thing we now know beyond all reasonable doubt. My learned friend's assistant's guilt can no longer be denied. The woman tampered with the crime scene. Stupid fancy.
This is the dumbest thing. I don't know what the last dumbest thing is that was mentioned. This is fucking ridiculous.
Okay, the last dumbest thing was the fact that they were berating us for defending McGilded when it was our assigned job to do so.
Yeah, that's
This
pretty
is pretty
dumb.
stupid,
This is
because
pretty
it's like-
stupid.
Because no, it's not a crime scene if you're involved with the crisis situation. It's a crisis, it's
And-
not a crime scene.
And there's no crime scene until you look through the fucking door.
Right, exactly. Like,
This is
it's-
absurd.
No, this is absurd. This is the stupidest thing.
This is the Van Zeke sucks. Like, I understand it's the writer, but he's embodying the writing, so I don't like the guy.
But more importantly,
Good lord, there's more.
for fancies. Yeah, like that. The defense may have established a reprehensible instance of perjury at threat of death. But that is no proof that this man is the victim's killer.
It's true. We were actually... Yes. That's right. What? I was there at the scene. It's true. And I was shot in the arm. It's true. But that's all. Yes. In fact, if you look at the circumstances, I am the victim here. Oh, please. I don't believe this. They're right. As it stands now, I don't have any definitive proof that he's the culprit. Still, he can't worm his way out of it now. Iris? You know what they say. There's no point locking the cat's door after the cat has bolted. They say that? Isn't that right, Runo?
Generally, the expression is, there's no point in closing the barn door after the horses have bolted. Is the expression.
They don't have horses in London.
They'd have a lot of horses.
I've only seen no horses in this game.
There was a horse in this case.
I don't know what you're talking about, dude. No. This isn't Stellar Blade. There's no horse people around.
Okay. No, stop horsing around.
Yeah, I see no hooves. Come on, man. Stop fucking with me. Come on. This is a fantasy world. We're in London. Horses are real, dude. As Hurley always says, one lie begets another. No, wait. That might have been a line I wrote for him in one of my stories. Well, no matter who said it first, you're right. I thought you were. The jokes never stop. Mr. Graydon, not only did you give false testimony to the court, but the lies you told make no sense. Make no sense. What do you mean by such a remark? What you said in your testimony reveals that you know something you shouldn't have known. In other words, there is a fundamental inconsistency in your statements. What?
Objection!
If there was no peephole, how did you know there was blood on the coat?
This is provocative talk, Counsel. Won't you enlighten the court? Explain this alleged inconsistency.
Iris was right. One lie begets another. All right. The inconsistency is revealed by the lies in the witnesses' statements. They show that Mr. Graydon had knowledge of something he shouldn't have known about. Namely, it should be the bloodstains on the coat, right?
On the coat.
Yeah, third gun. That doesn't matter because he had the gun.
Yeah.
Should just be, it was all relating to the bloodstains. The bloodstains that were present on Miss Lestrade's coat. That's right. The victim's blood spattered all over her when she shot him. But how could you possibly have known that? Obviously, because I saw her do it through the peephole in the... The point is not that you lied in your testimony, Mr. Graydon. It's the nature of the lie you concocted that is so revealing. You're not making any sense. Then let me ask you a simple question. How is it, Mr. Graydon, that you knew of the existence of the peephole in the storeroom door? What? Well, obviously
Has the cat got your tongue, witness?
The peephole in the door was made after the incident occurred. And once I returned to the shop, having failed to catch the two burglars, Scotland Yard's investigators arrived immediately. Since that time, the police have been at Windybanks constantly carrying out their investigation. Isn't that right, Inspector Gregson? Well, yes, of course. The place is chock full of pawned articles, and my lads have to thoroughly examine them all. So I gave the order to have officers work around the clock in shifts, so we got through it all. And consequently, there's no way that you, Mr. Graydon, could have gained access to the shop. Therefore, you should have known nothing about the peephole in the storeroom door. So the fact that its existence forms the basis of your testimony is completely inexplicable. Ugh.
Objection!
Zeke, let it go.
And yet, the fact remains that Mr. Graydon did maintain that he witnessed the crime take place through the peephole in the door. How on earth is that possible?
I'm gonna guess this is one of the bros.
Yeah, I'm thinking that too.
You do it then. I'm not okay. It was yours then. But I am nominating your voice for Nash as best voice in the playthrough.
Oh, thank you,
I love it. Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zakes?
And I'm gonna nominate your voice for the one, the Bobby's wife.
Bobby's
what was her name?
Patricia.
Patricia. Yeah, I love your voice.
You like the Patricia? That's just like that's how I voice all female characters. But I'll have to listen to it again.
It was good. It was good.
Okay,
it was cute.
thank you. I thought you were about to say, well, I nominate your Ringo. So it was the two brothers. Could I have a word, please, Lord Van Zeeks? Now, Gregson got this guy out of here, I think.
Speak, Inspector.
It's just that I really ought to be getting back to the station now to put in my report. There's really nothing more I can add to this testimony, so if it's all the same to you... Oh.
Permission denied.
Oh.
It's not all the same to me. Yeah. It's not all the same to me, Inspector. Not at all. You will remain exactly where you are until this trial concludes.
Of course, sir. Mr. Graydon. You shouldn't have known about the existence of that peephole. Which can only mean that you must have been informed about it by somebody else.
Objection!
Stop there, my learned friend. You realize, I trust, that the words you just uttered have extremely serious implications.
It's all I fucking do, man. Yeah, I know. But the defense believes that the details about the case that Mr. Graydon claims to have seen must have been revealed to him by a certain person before his testimony.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Dude, sorry, Gregson. And in fact, considering a particular clue we have, there's really only one person that could be.
Who is the person in question, Counsel? Who gave the witness details of the crime scene to facilitate his false testimony?
So, let's think about this reasonably for a minute. Nope. Nope.
Yeah, like, we saw Gregson
it's
speaking
Gregson.
to him.
Yeah, like, Gregson probably brought him in. Also, Gregson's trying to get the fuck out of here before this exact scenario happens.
Hey, no, like it's Gregson.
Take that!
The truth is, it could only have been you, Inspector Gregson. Me?
Objection!
You had better have some proof to substantiate such a rash claim, my learned friend.
Consider the fact that we have only been aware of Mr. Ashley Graydon's identity for the last few hours. We learnt of it only during the course of the trial today.
Indeed. Preparations for his testimony were made with great urgency during our hour-long recess. While the police executed the subpoena and brought the man here from the communications station.
And until that time, Mr. Graydon would have had no idea. No inkling that he would suddenly be required to appear in court.
Are you suggesting that until such time as he was summoned?
Yes. Yes, my lord. Until then, it's reasonable to assume he knew nothing of the people. It was only once Mr. Graydon was in the stand that he realized his position. That he would have to defend himself against the accusation that he was the third intruder.
You're suggesting to the court that it was while this trial was in progress that he received the information, so that he could commit perjury in order to save his skin?
Exactly. And the only person with knowledge of the investigation that he had any contact with is you, Inspector Gregson. This is a bloomin' outrage. Why would I be giving away details of our investigations to this fella, eh? I was summoned to his lordship's chambers during the recess in any case. Had you forgotten that?
Quite true. I had a number of questions regarding the events that transpired at the pawnbrokery. Which means... the first time these two laid eyes on one another was after proceedings resumed following the recess. Since then, they've been in full view in the stand, where such illicit discussions couldn't possibly have occurred.
But they did. Oh. I've just remembered something, Runo. What is it, Iris? It was one time before, wasn't there? I think it was when Ginny was testifying. Oh yeah. Now you mention it. When the bailiff was dispatched to retrieve McGilded's music box from the scene of the crime. That's it! It was during that testimony!
Like, this is great!
No, this was probably the best part of the game on virtue of... They put in this bizarro mechanic where you have to... Someone's gonna have this blatant reaction, right?
Yeah.
It's gonna put an exclamation point when you need to pursue them. And this was the one time that didn't happen, but you could do it anyway.
I'm also loving this because I was sitting here thinking, like, man, like, yeah, the peephole thing's really cool, but we kind of had a, like, we were on that pretty early.
Yeah.
It failed to end up being a, like,
It wasn't the clincher.
bullet in the shoulder situation, right?
Yeah.
Where there wasn't this big aha about the whole case. This kind of is that, where it's like, wait a minute, how did we even know about that? And it's like, oh my god, it was fucking Gregson.
Gregson fucking told them about it, yeah.
Yeah.
I remember finding it strange at the time. That they were obviously doing this. Mr. Graydon and the inspector seem to be having some kind of a secret discussion. It would have been possible for you to give Mr. Graydon the information he needed then. You little toe rag! You're making all this up! I'm a respectable Scotland Yard inspector, for crying out loud! Why would I do something like that? Why would I be giving away confidential details to the likes of this bloke? Admittedly, you wouldn't have had any reason to do something like that for no gain. But perhaps it was part of a deal of some kind. Then it starts to make more sense.
What deal, Counsel?
I wonder if perhaps, in exchange for details about the people at the crime scene, Mr. Graydon agreed to give a certain something to the inspector. The other disc.
The other disc. They cut the fucking deal. I'll give you that disc if I'm a gilded. You get me off. Even though I wanted that disc too.
Yeah, but he's fucked at this point. So yeah.
Exactly. I'm sure I need not remind the inspector that, if found to be true, striking a deal of any kind with a witness would be considered a gross case of malfeasance.
Holy shit. Malfeasance. Well,
Objection!
It's becoming clear that jumping in with accusations is this Nipponese student's speciality.
And fucking block it or DP. I don't do that. Why does it keep working, damn it?
Fuck. I mean, his name's Ryu, you know?
Yeah, his name's, yeah.
But with the stakes so high, the prosecution is not prepared to listen to baseless charges. It is incumbent on the defense now to present evidence in support of this diabolical claim.
Evidence? Again?
Just what are you proposing that the inspector demanded of the witness in return? The court must see proof of this alleged deal.
Inspector Gregson really did strike a deal with Mr. Graydon. And logically, there's only one thing he could have asked for. That must be it. Bruno, do you think it could be? Yes. It's the missing link that would join all the dots together in this puzzle. Get it? Because it's Morse code?
Yeah, it was wonderful. I must press you for an answer now, Counsel. What evidence explains the nature of the alleged deal that Inspector Gregson made with the witness?
Explains, the nature. So, I imagine we're just clicking the... It could be this disc, it could be the music box.
I think it's gonna take both. Let's just click the disc.
Yeah, I'm gonna click the disc.
Take that!
It's the disc. Inspector Gregson. Besides this murder, is it not true that you've been working on another very important case? What are you getting at now, Sunshine? Is it possible that this other top secret case is what's alluded to in this newspaper article here? The classified secrets being leaked overseas from the Ministry of Justice. How the bleeding Nora could you? You just told me, Inspector Boy. We discovered during the course of this trial the music box deposited at Windybanks by Magnus McGilded. A special music box, designed to play 2 discs at once. It would seem very likely now that encoded on the pair of discs that were in McGilded's possession are the leaked classified secrets. So I put it to you, Inspector, that in order to recover the second of the discs containing those secrets, you covertly made a deal with Mr. Graydon in which you exchanged the discs for details of the case. You little... Ah!
Order!
On the day of the incident, when we met you at Mr. Windybanks, you said this. I'll be taking that, whatever it is, McGilded's down to the yard. Thank you very much. So hand it over. No, don't. Don't give it to him. It's mine, that is mine. I'm sorry, miss. But anything belonging to McGilded has to be taken in as evidence now. Scotland Yard already knew at that time, isn't that right? That Magnus McGilded was involved in the stealing of government secrets. My orders were: recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry. And do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush.
And that explains why, when I presented this disc as evidence to the court, you objected so heavily, I presume. Because you knew that it contained highly confidential information.
Blimey, not likely. I mean, I wasn't that sure of it myself. I realized there was a possibility. That's all.
Inspector, surely you're not saying that in order to acquire the second of the music box discs, you did indeed reveal confidential details of the crime scene to the witness?
Why not just let him shoot himself in the foot and then you confiscate it afterwards?
To aid and abet this man is giving false testimony.
There's no other way that Mr. Graydon could have known of the existence of the peephole. It's the only explanation. A deal was struck between these two men. Ah, no!
Objection!
Boy, bro, this is getting good.
If, and I stress, if this sobering assertion turns out to be founded in truth,
I will personally kill you, Gregson.
it would mean that the second disc is, as we speak, here in this very courtroom.
Wait, what? In this room? How could you possibly make a claim like that? Damn, I don't like how that feels. I didn't like when he asked me that. To support my claim, says Van Zeeks.
Because Inspector Gregson is a Scotland Yard detective.
What? What's that supposed to mean, eh?
As a seasoned policeman, the inspector will have approached this alleged deal with caution. Certainly, he would not have accepted a gentleman's agreement in this matter.
I need it now. If you have it now, I'll tell you stuff. If you don't, sorry.
Now, on their way here, he picked it up. It's in his pocket. That's why he tried to leave.
Yeah.
No. He would have insisted on having the article agreed upon in the palm of his hand. Good gracious! Then, you mean to say... Inspector Gregson already has the item in question in his possession. He has the second disc actually on his person.
Yes!
He does! The defense demands that the inspector is searched at once! Definitely! They could only have struck a deal with each other when Ginny was testifying before. And Gregsy hasn't moved from the witness stand since! My lord, please! Order an examination of his personal effects immediately!
Well, Inspector.
This young lad wants to tone down his imagination. He's insulted me in my profession quite enough. However, if it'll put this matter to bed and dispel any doubts about my involvement, then I'll happily submit to a body search. What? He's going to agree to it?
I presume you're aware of the precipice on which you now teeter. my learned student friend.
He shoved it through the cat door.
You've made a most serious allegation against Scotland Yard here.
It can't hurt to check, right?
If, following the search of the inspector's personal effects, no disc is found, you will be deemed unfit for court service. This trial will end.
People just make shit up nonstop.
And my country's government will formally demand of yours that you are severely reprimanded.
I mean, we're on pretty good grounds to, like, check this and investigate this. That sounds serious.
Yeah, so, like, I've, in my mind, like, Zeke's thing here, based upon his actions, is, like, he's clearly against the whole government corruption thing.
Yeah.
Like, he had it out for McGilded. Clearly, he's been pushing this agenda. But he's only willing to ride or die if you can... If he's 100% certain that you can back it up.
Yeah.
Because it's like, if you fuck up, he doesn't want to go down with you. Because he
No,
still has to fight the fight.
Yeah, I get
right?
that. I get that he's definitely doing his job, but it is just like... I know in the other games, we're definitely thrown, like, pretty harsh punishments every now and then where it's like, you know, this is... We can't keep going down this line of thinking, you gotta prove it now kind of thing. But this is just like... we have established a pretty reasonable... A very reasonable thing to investigate. But it's like, well... Like, we have established enough that it's like, we still, like, there is a sus as fuck dude in here who has just lied to the entire court. And it's like, oh, well, you know, you're gonna just lose your whole profession and get executed back in your country if you're wrong here. And it's like, whoa, that's a bit much. Ah, the British, that's right. Lest I forget.
Is not something Her Majesty's government will be able to overlook.
You're just threatening Bruno because you're scared.
The accusation is beyond serious. You must be prepared for grave consequences.
It's true. I can't imagine Gregson would have accepted a gentleman's agreement for something so critical. The disc must have physically changed hands, which means the inspector should have it. But somehow, something doesn't feel quite right here.
Very well, Counsel. You know the implications. So let me ask you one final time.
Yes, my lord.
Do you still persist in formally requesting a search of the inspector's personal effects?
Ooh, the search someone else switcheroo.
Right. Well, search, yeah, because let's think about this, because it's like...
Gregson's confident.
Gregson's confident that he's like, search me. He's hidden it. In fact, he ate it.
I ate it? Yeah.
Fuck it, I ate the disc. So he's been eating the whole time. Search someone else. Who though? Can you pull up the list of characters?
Well, it would be, what's his name? I assume. Yeah,
Yeah.
Eggman.
Yeah, it would just have to be Eggman if it's not. Like unless it's on
It's the weird
TS
option,
code
is
or
why I
something.
want to pick it.
Yeah, I do too.
Let's do it. Search someone else. Take us for a ride. Yes. The defense formally demands the search be conducted.
Well, don't say you weren't warned. But your typical Nipponese stubbornness may well land you in hot water this time. Perhaps the lesson will do you some good.
Fair enough. I've got nothing to hide.
Very well then. Bailiff, conduct a search.
Uh-oh. Yeah, or it's a bluff from Gregson's part, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he knew he could pull this off so that we would back off. The defense demands a search, but not of Inspector Gregson. What the hell?
What?
Now what's all this? I'm the one you're accusing, aren't I? I thought you wanted to search me. No, Inspector, not you. Somebody else. What's the meaning of all this, eh? Lost it, have you, Sunshine? The court shouldn't have to put up with this nonsense. You're being completely irrational.
Be quiet! All of you!
Be quiet, all of you!
Iris said that.
Bruno's doing what you all told him to do, and having the courage of his convictions. So you should respect that and listen to what he has to say in good faith. Because that's the British way. My queen.
Well said, young lady. Indeed, this court is in awe of the defense counsel's conviction, and eagerly awaits his next words.
You what? Now, don't be hasty, my lord. I have no idea who to accuse. If I'm not mistaken about the things I've seen in court today, I'm fairly sure I know who has that disc at the moment. There's only one person it can be.
Okay, so would Egbert have it on his person? Maybe. Is it secretly on Gina?
Yeah, was this pocketed into Gina's bag? I don't know how that would have happened.
Yeah, basically, like, my thought there would be... It would somehow, like, secretly be
in the
her,
coat.
like, coat.
Yeah.
But presumably it was taken... But they didn't find another one on the coat.
No.
Presumably he took it out of the music box. That's the information we have.
Yeah. Oh man, this is like Egbert doesn't make any. It's kind of weird to talk about though because they've established the idea that Gregson would not take this deal without the collateral in his hand, right?
Right.
Ugh.
I mean,
I don't know when either of these guys would have gotten it handed to them.
No. They were largely
Gina or Egbert?
Gina's the more interesting option, of course. That's the aha thing. But it's... I just can't see... I can't put together how it would be on her person.
I can't either.
But I think it's just Ashley.
Like, I think we're trying Ashley and then Gina.
Yeah.
Or it's... Oh, why is he here?
Well, he's not here.
Why is he in the list of people, Tommy?
He's just the guy, man.
Tommy, we never met up with this guy this entire case, I don't think. No, we did at the very beginning.
Did we even see him at the beginning?
Yeah, we saw him at the beginning, talking to Susato. Wait.
Okay. Did we?
Did we?
Yes, no, we did. I think. Because we met Susato. Yeah, it was
She's
the
not here.
next day. Yeah, we met Susato at Lord Strongheart's, and that's when we learned she was leaving. That was after Holmes was shot that we saw that happen.
Further details about the man are forthcoming.
Yeah, but I think we just cook Ashley.
I think we go from there. I think this is the like you're not really supposed to know. This is like the first case of it's like first case of V3 where you're like, well, that one you're more like in denial and not thinking about it, but then you're like, oh fuck. God, who? Like, I imagine this is it though, right? Like we are at the end of this. we did not. The other two
Yeah.
options were wrong. We need to figure out who has this fucking thing.
Yeah, because the idea is that Gina picks up the code from Peter, Pop, and has the disc is in the code. One disc. There's not a second disc in the code. He comes back that night looking for the second disc. Presumably, he found it in the music box, and then took it. So it wasn't in the music box anymore.
Or he just had it for some other reason. But yeah, presumably he was taking it from the music box.
That's why the music box was moved, is because it was opened and searched.
Yeah,
Right.
because he doesn't need the music box to obtain the information. He just
needs the discs.
Yeah. In fact, it's kind of weird that the music box exists then.
Right, but it does. He leaves the music box. He has the disc. The shooting happens. He leaves. Right. Because he knows the other disc is in the police custody. So once he has the second disc, he just needs to go get the first disc.
Yeah.
Right. I think he just has it. I can't imagine Gina having it. When would it have ever gone on her?
She has the bag. They slipped it in there. And they're
Bag,
gonna She has her bag with her. With the grenade launcher in it.
Right, but it's just like he shoots Windy Bake in the back. Right. Gina locks the door.
Oh, I'm saying this happened in the courtroom. I know that's weird.
Oh, I see.
I'm thinking, like, my state of mind here is this disc is in this courtroom, which is also what they were talking about, right? That's what we have to do right now. The disc is in the courtroom. And presumably Gregson doesn't have it, but he's been assured he will get it. Right?
Right.
Strongheart's not gonna have it. Sholmes could have taken it somehow. I don't know how.
Yeah, but
I doubt that. I'm gonna go with the Gina Hail Mary to start.
Okay.
I think that's fun.
Take that!
No. My lord, the defense demands this person be searched at once. Yeah, okay.
Objection!
We knew this was gonna happen.
Yeah.
We had a feeling. Not understand the gravity of requesting such a search.
Yeah, it's fine.
The defense counsel aims in his humiliation. Perhaps this will give him a taste of his own medicine. Oh, all right. Let's see how Iris contextualizes it. If Gregsy doesn't have the disc at the moment, the question is, where could he have hidden it? The trouble is, he's been in the witness stand the entire time in full view of everyone in the courtroom. Not an easy situation in which to go about hiding anything, really. So there's honestly only one place he could have possibly hidden it then. Perhaps in another person's pocket? Someone with him on the stand. Okay.
He grabbed Nash.
Grabbed the guy!
He grabbed Nash.
He fucking grabbed Nash!
He grabbed Nash.
Yes!
That's right.
Yes!
Yes,
God,
yes,
we
yes,
realized that at the same exact time.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Alright. If I'm not mistaken I wasn't gonna remember that happened.
You were on the right track though, with the idea that he hit it in somebody else's pocket up on the
Yeah,
stand.
alright.
You were on the right track there. You were on the right track.
Alright, he fucking grabbed Nash out of nowhere. Like, I was about to say, it's gonna be one of the brothers.
Take that!
No, you were absolutely on the right track.
Nice. Oh, fuck yeah. Of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin. Hold on, make sure I get this. Counsel, of whom do you request? Take that. Present Nash. Okay. I don't know why. Of my lord. Check the pockets of my lord, Mr. Nash Skulkin.
Well, I never.
Blimey! Him!
Very well then, bailiff. Restrain the witness and conduct a thorough search of his personal effects.
Hold it!
Please, my lord.
Inspector.
Scotland Yard, has to object to this search.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, Inspector, your objections carry no weight here. In this courtroom, only the prosecution and the defense have the authority to object.
But Lord Von Zeeks!
I have no idea what forces are in play that might influence your actions. But personally, I have no intention of obstructing the course of this trial.
Ah!
Bailiff, carry out the search. Now, hold on, Amo. I don't know nothing about no disc. Cut it out! Ah!
Here, my lord. In the witness's pocket. I found this! Oh.
Good lord. That's... another music box disc.
I don't know enough. Not you.
I don't know nothing about nothing.
That is the second music box disc left behind by Magnus McGilded. Is it not? Inspector Gregson? Ah! Ah! I feel kind of bad for Gregson here. He fucked up, but like, he's kind of just doing
like,
what he's asked in the early 1900s.
Yeah, no. When your chief of police boss tells you to, you know,
when he says jump, you say how high.
Yeah, how high? Yeah, like so that he can get government secrets. It's like fuck me. I work at the police station. If I get fired, my family will die. Like,
they're back into the mines.
back into the coal mines. Order! Mr. Skulkin, what have you to say for yourself? Gordon Bennett! I mean, just Gordon Flamin' Bennett! I swear, I didn't know none about that disc. Honest to God. Counsel, would you please explain what exactly is going on here? The alleged deal that was struck was between this witness and this detective. No?
Without question, my lord.
Then, for pity's sake, why on earth was this man in possession of the disc that the inspector traded for information?
Inspector Gregson is a shrewd, calculating man who rarely loses his composure. But at one particular point in this trial, he exhibited some unusual behavior for a brief moment.
I don't recall. What unusual behavior?
Oh, blimey, fucking hell. It was... yes, during my cross-examination of Mr. Graydon. Tell me, Mr. Graydon, when you left the pawnbrokery that night, was it by any chance with the second disc in your jacket pocket? I admit nothing of the sort.
Right, we talk about the second disc. Gregson goes, oh fuck.
And immediately starts violence.
Like, he sees where this is going. I gotta get this off my person.
Well, Mr. Graydon answered my question. The inspector appeared to have grabbed Nash Skulkin by his coat and was shaking him violently.
Yeah, he did it all. I mean, noggin was go for clean off, I did. I was wishing I'd been born as me brother, I was.
And what exactly happened to make the detective attack you like that?
I ain't got a clue. He just suddenly turned and grabbed me, whistle like that, and started shaking me. Oh, Blazers, didn't you mention the third gun when we got you down to the station? That's what he said.
Right.
Got it right down the ear hole, he did. The head's still throbbing now.
The way the detective behaved then was extremely out of character. But looking back now, it must have been then that he did it. That was the opportunity Inspector Gregson created for himself in order to hide the disc.
Well, bless my wig. He hid it.
You.
But I'm afraid I failed to comprehend the motive here. If the detective had acquired the disc he was after, why on earth would he then proceed to hide it in another man's pocket? This is a court of law. He could have submitted the item as evidence. It would appear, my lord, that the inspector was not at liberty to do that.
Oh, he was just doing his job. What an upstanding citizen.
Why ever not? As the man himself revealed earlier, his current assignment has some special conditions.
My orders were recover the medium used to convey the secrets leaked from the ministry, and do it on the QT. Strictly hush-hush.
Hush hush. A top secret assignment, is it? As far as we're aware, the information stolen comes from confidential government communications. It would seem that if the information were to be revealed in court as evidence, it would be problematic. Does that sum up the situation, Inspector?
I'm operating under direct orders from the ministry. I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to answer that question.
So, realizing there was a chance that you may be searched here in court, you took steps to hide the disc you had acquired from the witness. Ah! Does this mean?
He only pretended to attack Mr. Skulkin in order to get close enough to him to slip the second disc into his pocket.
So, it was all a pretense.
Come on, Gregson, do the right thing now.
Well now, Inspector Gregson, and you, Mr. Graydon. Are you prepared to admit to the accusation made against you in this alleged deal?
Admit to it. Yours truly, please. Mr. Graydon! Clearly our Eastern visitor has an uncommonly active imagination. However, there's no proof that I passed that disc to the inspector.
Objection!
But then... How do you explain the reason why you knew about the peephole? I'm under no obligation to explain. What? Yes, I lied in my testimony. That I admit to, so sentence me accordingly. But that is all I admit. Murder, leaking government secrets, striking a deal with the detective. All of it is this young Eastern man's fancy. Fantasy, same thing. I have no idea what any of this is about. You... What? Just die already. But what about you then, Inspector Gregson? Do you admit to making a deal with Mr. Graydon in order to acquire the disc?
Come on, Gregsy.
Ladies and gents of the jury, As a Scotland Yard inspector, I'll declare this and nothing more. I am acting in the best interest of the country. Whatever I've done, it's been in the name of justice. Ugh. So, as members of the public of this fine country, I'd like to think that justice will be your guiding light when you're making your decisions. Finally, back to how we started this fucking game in these cases. Just talking straight to the jury. Rest of it didn't matter.
This is quite a quandary indeed. Rarely have I encountered such extraordinary tumultuousness in the concluding of a trial. Nevertheless, in the absence of any further evidence to be presented, I believe it is time that we put the matter to the jury for their final leanings.
Well now, as a fellow servant of Queen and Country, I must say I sympathize with the old inspector. I wasn't listening to the entire court proceedings anyway, and that guy there in white's definitely not suspicious or anything.
He's a dependable man, I'm quite sure. In service, one becomes a good judge of character.
Really?
Even crossing your eyes doesn't help when it comes to looking at this case. It's all blurred to me.
Well, at least you understand it's messy.
Well, as a fellow professional, I like to put faith in the detective. Really.
Graydon is highly skilled operator. Stop. Currently in presence of idol. Stop. Detective has very much trust in eyes. More than this, I cannot say. I believe it. These 6 jurors are... They're gonna believe Gregson. If they declare their decision now... Is Ginny going to be found guilty? If I don't manage to produce some definitive evidence right now, then... We're going to lose. Either some proof that Graydon killed Mr. Windybank or stole those government secrets. Or some evidence to force Gregson to admit that he struck a deal with the witness.
Well then, counsel. I think it's time I imposed on the jurors to declare their final decision. No. That is, unless you have some compelling evidence you have thus far not presented to the court.
If I let the judge call on the jurors to announce their leanings, Gina will be found guilty. So there's no choice then, Runo. You have to throw some more evidence at them. This is it now. It all comes down to this. This game's giving me way too many options. Gregson or Graydon?
What do we have?
We're through with all this.
Oh! Let's look at this really quick.
I don't know how this...
Okay.
I think this is going to be the, we present this at the very end of the game for the extra dialogue thing.
Right.
I guess we didn't get this. Yeah, well, it doesn't have quite the same ring to it, but I could change it to the Hound of the Naruhodos. I'm fairly sure that Mr. Sholmes is a friend of someone who has that name too. Funny. Like, it might be Music Box here. Somehow. Doubt it's this. Not that. No.
I think it's the autopsy report, but we can look at it.
Right, we have the rising diagonal trajectory, which is interesting still.
Well, I think it's the idea was that he was running away.
Right,
like
but
he was
this
shot
this
in the
would
back.
right, but this would have to be shot. He would have to have been shot from below.
Well, they had stated he was leaning forward as he was running as the explanation for the rising trajectory. They already talked about this.
No. That was when the brothers shot him. They talked about that.
Right, but
We have not
regardless of-
established how exactly it looked. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Still, we've not like properly established what it looked like for how what's his name shot the guy. Just that one's still kind of unclear, but it probably is just, you know, the brothers covering up for him, but it probably looked like that. But it's probably not the autopsy report. Nope. Nope. Why did they hand this to us?
Good question.
We can't do anything with it.
No, we can't do anything with this. So the one thing that crossed my mind,
It's a music box.
right? So what do you think about the music box?
It's all we have. We have both discs.
Right.
Play the fucking music, white boy.
Right, but
I don't know what that does for us, but it's...
right,
What else do we have?
right. So the one thing that crossed my mind, which I like, but it's a bit of a leap, would be the idea of presenting the manuscript to Gregson as sort of just an appeal to his humanity, of it being like Ginny didn't do anything wrong. She was just looking at Iris's thing that you are also a fan of. It's a bit of a leap there, but that was like, it crossed my mind. So let's think about maybe it's not.
It's the manuscript
Gregson.
or it's the music box.
Yeah, like present. What would like present music box on Graydon do for us?
Nothing.
Right?
He's not gonna fucking help us with anything. But like, cause he's just sitting there going, I don't know what you're talking about. That's it. That's all. That's his whole testimony. He's clammed up.
Yeah.
He's not gonna fucking
So what-
say anything anymore, no
right,
matter
but,
what
like,
we show to
present
him.
music box to Gregson.
Right, and it's like, who do we present evidence against? In what capacity? We have no statement to present it to. So I kind of like your idea. Let's save. The appeal to humanity is a great idea.
Right. It's a bit of a leap in logic is the issue, but
Let's hit Inspector Gregson and see what it leads us to.
yeah.
Inspector Gregson, there is one final piece of evidence I would like you to see. What's that then? If you refuse to acknowledge that you did in fact strike a deal with the witness here today, then you leave us no choice but to examine this piece of evidence thoroughly. Well, go on. This is my last chance. It looks like I'm going to have to force his hand here. One final piece of evidence to get this detective to admit the deal he clearly struck with Graydon.
Okay.
I think
This is
we
fine.
tell him
No,
we're gonna
we're
fucking listen
fucking
to
play
it then, dude.
Yeah, no, we're blackmailing
If you
him.
don't
Yeah,
want us to do this, fess up.
yeah.
Take that!
Oh. Oh.
Mr. McGilded's peculiar music box, Counsel.
Yes. With the disc all ready in place, ready to play. I think perhaps now would be a good time to listen to the sound produced by the music box again. Only this time... with the second disc we've just discovered set in place as well.
goodness! This disc! Council!
Hold it!
No! Wait! I can't let you do that! Why not? Because it's got nothing to do with this case, that's why.
Objection!
Not true, Inspector! Eh? The defense has already proposed that the sound heard by the court earlier from this music box were a part of a Morse code message. We know that Morse code comprises of 2 distinct tones. The defense believes that the second disc contains the second tone needed to complete the message. And now we have a chance to confirm that theory. For crying out loud, Sunshine! We're talking about state secrets here! If you go letting the whole courtroom hear confidential information like that, it's treason! Then do you admit the charge? That in order to protect those state secrets, you engaged in unlawful dealings with the witness? You're mad! If you let that secret information out into the public domain, you'll be making an enemy of the entire British government, you idiot!
Objection!
Let's not forget, Inspector, that you, a Scotland Yard officer, leaked confidential case details to a witness! That you continue to lie to the court, and all because, by a fair means or foul, you're determined to do your duty. Hell, by fair means or foul, I'm prepared to do mine! Don't you dare. I will stop at nothing to protect my client! I don't care who I make an enemy of! Ugh. My lord, if you please. The court must hear the sounds made by that music box. Come on, Van Zeek! For Pete's sake, stop him!
Objection!
Inspector, you should know my methods by now. I'm a prosecutor. I'm no Scotland Yard puppet. In this courtroom, my duty is to the law. So let me propose a toast to uncovering the truth by fair means or foul.
No!
The state secrets that cannot enter the public domain is Sherlock Holmes. the IP. No! It can't enter the public domain! Very well. The defense's stance here, and that of the prosecution, has been made very clear, I feel. Therefore, in accordance with the defense's request, the court will now listen as this music box is set in operation once more. This time, with the second disc in place, both discs playing simultaneously.
Oh, that's fucking great.
Yeah, that was a nice shot. Maybe the 3D is a good upgrade.
Oh my god, they're actually gonna play it. Oh yeah. It's unmistakable now. It's Morse code. All right, I admit it, whatever you want. But for the love of God, shut that blooming box up! This angle with Gregson is very good. It's not the killer that we have to corner. It's the fucking police inspector. Let me ask you again then, Inspector Gregson. Did you, or did you not, strike a deal with the witness next to you in the stand, Mr. Ashley Graydon?
Specifically, did you furnish the witness with confidential case details in exchange for this music box disc? Did you reveal the existence of the people in the pawnbroker's storeroom door, Inspector?
I did. Stop! What are you doing, man? It's all exactly like the young Eastern lawyer said. When the trial resumed after the recess, and we were stood here in the stand together, that's when he approached me with the deal. Shut up, you imbecile! Shut up! You there. You're the detective who turned up at the pawnbrokery that other day, aren't you? I may have something you're looking for, Inspector. With me at this very moment. So how about a trade? I suggest you accept. Or information that may make certain individuals uncomfortable will soon become very public indeed. I couldn't let that information become public knowledge. Not under any circumstances. So I accepted the man's proposal instead of calling a Bobby over and apprehending him in place and then just, you know, taking it and not causing this whole ordeal, but, you know.
I suppose part of the issue would have been he might know what the message was.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
So I accepted the man's proposal and told him details about the case that should have put him in the clear. Peephole in the storeroom door and the bloodstains on the overcoat. By giving false testimony, this witness intended to have the defendant wrongly accused of murder. Inspector, you knew that. Yet you still revealed those details to facilitate the witness's perjury. I did. Then it turned out the peephole had only been made that night, after the incident took place. Scotland Yard wasn't aware of that, if I'm perfectly honest. Well, Mr. Graydon, what do you have to say for yourself? There's nothing, and no one left for you to hide behind. You struck a deal with the inspector in order to escape conviction of a very serious crime. Namely this. You are the third intruder who broke into the pawnbrokery on the night in question. And you perpetrated the murder of the proprietor, Mr. Pop Windybank. You... Traitor! Oh my god! Oh!
Bailiff! Bailiff! Restrain that man! At once!
Good thing he's all neck. You can't break that. That's it then. It's all over. I despised my life growing up. Those slums are vile places. I was cursed from birth. Born into poverty, the son of a penniless artisan. My parents did nothing but quarrel all day long. What little money they had was never spent on me. So I set about studying to better myself, to one day escape from that hellhole.
and you eventually became a communications officer. I admire your determination.
But then you decided to try to sell government secrets. Why? Isn't it obvious? Because I wanted money. Even now, years later, the nightmares of my life in the slums wake me in the small hours. I wanted to drown them out with more money than anyone who lived in that squalor could ever imagine. And one day I met him. Mr. Magnus McGilded. You're a fiend with a... Well, talent, so you are. I have money to throw your way if you're interested. All you need do is go along with me, little plan now. I was to steal the Ministry's telegraphic message logs, and McGilded would buy them for a handsome sum. As I was responsible for inspections of the Ministry's communications office, it was a simple enough task.
The lure of the devil's offering. How easy it is to succumb. But you must surely have realized the seriousness of the crime you were committing.
And for that reason, I took great lengths to ensure that my actions were untraceable.
By using the music box.
My father was a brickmaker, though my mother divorced him when I was still a child. Yes, Mr. Mason Milverton. That's right. He was very skilled with his hands. He'd once been a music box maker's apprentice. I imagined his skills would be sufficient to create a machine that could generate Morse code. So I sought out my father again to employ his services. It was the first time I'd seen him since I left the slums 10 years earlier. Are you the fourth fried rice? Look at you, Ashley. What a fine gent you've become, eh? He was a different man to the one in my memory. A thin, frail old man. The poverty had never broken him. Never corrupted him like it had me. I was sure that he wouldn't help me if I told him the real reason. So I made up a story. I've got work for you, Father. I need some music box discs made. Music box discs, eh? A musician friend of mine has written some music he wants to sell to the public. I brought the score with me. There are two, actually. I'd be delighted, son. It's been 20 years since I did any work like this, though. Fetch my tools, would you? They're in the loft. That's how I had him make the two discs.
Thereby splitting the information in two. You are taking considerable precautions indeed.
It was to protect myself as much as anything. It meant that I could deal with McGilded in two separate transactions. The first involved the first of the two discs, and the music box for playing them. I exchanged them with McGilded for 10 guineas. Then on receipt of the second disc, he would pay 1,000 guineas. So, what happened on the omnibus 2 months ago was the second part of the deal. The exchange of the second disc. Yes. I'd sold the man information that way a number of times already. But it seems he became reluctant to part with his money.
But that doesn't quite make sense, Mr. Graydon. For why was it that on the omnibus 2 months ago, your father, Mr. Milverton, was the one dealing with Mr. McGilded and not yourself?
When I received the 1,000 guineas after my first completed dealings with Mr. McGilded, I decided to give 200 to my father for his troubles. My father realized something was amiss. In time, he worked out that I must be involved in something dubious. And when he did, he said to me, "Next time there's an exchange, you'll let your old man do it, understand? Otherwise, I won't take your money anymore." That was my father's way of dealing with it, I suppose. Climb into the omnibus, hand over the second disc, and take the money from McGilded. That's it. He had no idea what was actually on the discs I'd asked him to make. He never knew. Just like I'll never know why everything went so horribly wrong that night. All I know is that the disc was taken from him. He never returned home. The jury's gonna be like, "So guilty. He's guilty, right? All right, everyone, guilty."
So it is fucked up, though, because at the start of this fucking case, he was actually telling the truth when he said, "That disc is mine, give it to me."
Yeah,
Right?
that's
It's
true.
Straight, like, yeah, like, obviously Gina wasn't in the wrong or anything, but, like, he was just kind of getting what the fuck he was owed.
Yep. You're telling me McGilded just was like, "I'm not paying you the money I was promised I would pay you," and just killed a guy?
Yeah, I'm gonna more so bet that Milverton was going to refuse McGilded.
Probably
He
refuse
wanted-
him, yeah.
He wanted to get his son out of the underground world, and was gonna be like, "Look, man, like, we're not in on this anymore." So Magnus probably just killed him for that.
Yeah,
right?
and it's like, well,
Fuck you, I'm just taking it then.
this is
Yeah.
gangster shit. It was only then that I found out that It was only then that I found out what sort of monster McGilded really was. So after 10 years of not once uttering it, I swore on my father's name. To exact revenge. Revenge! Revenge! Revenge.
Revenge. As anyone with even the remotest knowledge of the man will no doubt be able to imagine, McGilded brought all his wealth and influence to bear in the most despicable of ways. To crush any semblance of justice in his trial. The crime scene was tampered with. Evidence was fixed. And witnesses were bribed. That trial 2 months ago was a farce from start to finish.
My feet had barely touched British soil back then, and I walked into that hornet's nest completely unaware of the sinister background to it all. I've made plenty of money out of— I like how he's like, Kempt again. I'd made plenty of money out of my dealings with McGilded by then. So I spared nothing in my arrangement 2 months ago. I knew exactly who to hire. If you're willing to pay the price, there are people in this city willing to do anything you ask. McGilded himself had shown me that. Are you saying that? I think you have the picture now. After he twisted everything to his favor in this courtroom to ensure that he walked free, I took matters into my own hands and delivered the justice that monster deserved. tragic accident following the trial here 2 months ago was planned and executed by yours truly. Damn.
This thing's just standing there 2 months ago being like, well, this couldn't have gone any better, honestly.
Love this. McGilded's death that day was caused by this man? Everything's ready, sir. If you'd like to follow me into the courtroom. What's this, officer? 'Tis sooner than I was led to believe. I hope it's not inconvenient, sir. There were some changes to the schedule. Well, I must be making tracks now. 'Tis time for the inspection. They're going to examine the omnibus again, so I'm told. I asked if I could be present for it myself. So that policeman who came to tell McGilded he could examine the omnibus again. That's right. An imposter. Hired by me. McGilded used his wealth to manipulate the trial. He paid people. He paid people to adulterate the omnibus with all manner of false evidence. He threatened witnesses to lie in their testimony. So I gave the man a taste of his own medicine. Once the omnibus was doused in paraffin, one of my sham policemen ushered McGilded inside and sent him on a one-way journey to hell. An eye for an eye. That's how I avenged my father's death. Jesus Christ.
A spine-chilling account, indeed.
But that wasn't the end of it for me. There was a loose end, you see. A loose end. Yes. I should think it's obvious. The second disc, which my father had taken to exchange with McGilded.
Yes. There was indeed no mention of it in the man's trial 2 months ago.
Yeah, good thing he incriminatingly put for McGilded on that disc. We would have gotten nowhere in this trial.
Clearly, because it had been removed from the scene of the crime.
When I realized it was missing, I remembered something. Something from the first time I dealt with McGilded. This is the first of the 2 discs. In the music box, you need to play them. Well, look at that now. What an ingenious little invention. So then, as promised, 10 guineas for ye, young man. What's this? Windybank's pawnbrokery? Aye, 'tis a pawnbroker's ticket, so it is. You can use it to redeem an article I've deposited there for ye. There's no need to give a name. Just hand over the ticket and tell the fiend the watchword. I've put a jewel in pawn for ye. It'll fetch a good 10 guineas if you sell it, so it will. I've never heard of a pawnbrokery being used in quite that way before. Have you not, Mr. Graydon? London's pawnbrokeries are very useful places, you know. Each one is like an extremely secure vault. So I knew that he'd taken steps to hide the disc. It would be in that pawnbrokery somewhere. And on that night he killed my father, he must have entrusted the ticket to someone. Yes, to Gina. I remember now. That when we first met you at Windybanks that afternoon 2 days ago, you had a description of Miss Lestrade written down. did you know who you were looking for? From the trial. That pickpocket's testimony was clearly peculiar. Anyone could see that. I realized immediately that she was another of McGilded's pawns. That he must have threatened her somehow. I was fairly convinced it would be her who had the ticket. So I started to make some inquiries. I had a strong suspicion the girl would come out of the woodwork on the redemption deadline. And he was absolutely right. And yes, sure enough she did. All I needed to do was wait until the girl went to Windybanks to redeem the articles. But unfortunately, she redeemed only McGilded's overcoat and the one disc that was in its pocket. The all-important music box with the second disc inside was missing.
Because it had already been forfeited 2 days earlier.
But I was unaware of that fact. Had I not been, I could have avoided my nighttime excursion. Meanwhile, as our investigation into the stolen government secrets was progressing, we picked up on the fact that McGilded was involved. Inspector, you've recovered fast. My orders were to recover the stolen information as quickly as possible. So we started gathering the fella's possessions and examining whatever we could lay our hands on. We had a full-scale investigation going on at the yard, but we had to keep it as quiet as we could. Then when the inspector here took the disc from me in the pawnbrokery that day, I became nervous. What?
The initial one. The one with his blood on it.
Wait, but he pulled a gun out and ran away, but then Gina had it back somehow. Whatever. I was sure the music box and the second disc was still there in the shop somewhere. So I knew that it was I knew that it was a race against time. I had to find those articles before the police did. So that's what prompted you to break into the place that same night. With the help of your old friends, the Skulkin brothers. Hey, bruv, we were mentioned. We sure were. What happened that night in the pawnbrokery? I can only describe as a nightmare. While Nash and Ringo were searching the counter, I'd located the music box I'd sold to McGilded on the shelves of forfeited articles.
And the second disc was inside.
Yes. I slipped it into my pocket with a very deep sigh of relief. But then, something entirely unexpected happened. Holy crap, what are you doing in my shop? A gunshot rang out in the shop and I felt a sharp pain in my left arm.
The broker fired his gun, and the bullet pierced your limb.
Yes, exactly. But unfortunately, I decided to bring my own gun with me that night, just in case. Before I knew what was happening, I'd fired back. The man had already turned to flee. I hadn't intended to fire in his direction, much less kill him. But unfortunately for both of us, the bullet hit home. It struck him in the middle of his back as he fled through the storeroom door for refuge.
A sorry tale.
It all took place in the blink of an eye. I don't imagine Nash and Ringo even realized what had happened at first. I was terrified. So I fled. And that's the whole story. That's everything that happened at Winnie Banks on that wretched night. The jury's like, so we killing this girl or what?
Earlier, you called McGilded a monster. A man who used his wealth and influence to distort the facts and escape justice for the crime of murder. What tragic irony. For what you have done is exactly the same. You've become the very monster you saw, and despised so deeply in McGilded.
Yes. I think I have.
Well, this has been a long and exhausting trial. However, it would seem that at last we have arrived at the truth. Inspector Gregson, what of Mr. Ashley Graydon?
He's been restrained, my lord, and is being escorted to the yard. He'll be charged with the murder of Mr. Windybank and the stealing of government secrets.
Very good. And you, Inspector. Regrettably, you will have to face charges yourself.
Yes, my lord. Of course.
It transpires that you were complicit in helping a criminal escape justice. The fact remains, whether or not you were doing so in the line of duty. The crime is a serious one, Inspector, and inexcusable. Now to the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade.
Yeah?
It is time for the final adjudication. Is the jury ready, Mr. Foreman?
Yes, sir. Garradeb Squadron standing by, sir. This is really it now. The last push, the final call, the finishing whistle. My men are ready to deliver their verdicts.
Thank you, Mr. Foreman. Very well. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will now declare your final decisions to the court.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Not guilty.
Jesus Christ. That's the stuff. I'm off the hook. Finally, Bruno. You finally managed to do it. Where'd all your hair go? I can't do it anymore, Iris. Finally is the word. I really wasn't sure if we'd come out on top for a while there.
I'm gonna keep it real with you, Iris. Runa's going to kill himself.
Susie was right. You're the best lawyer in the world.
Miss Lestrade, I am not finished with you yet.
What are you looking at me? What are you looking at me like that for?
Before you start enjoying your freedom, there are certain other crimes to consider.
Eh?
2 months ago, in my courtroom no less, you gave false testimony, did you not? And in relation to the trial today, not only did you unlawfully enter Mr. Windybank's pawnbrokery, you also attempted to abscond with Mr. McGilded's property, it seems.
What? Whatever. Eh? I never done nothing of the sort. Of course not. It's not like you were gleefully wearing McGilded's coat in your cell yesterday or anything. Oh, and just when I was getting excited about throwing a party for Jenny this evening.
And turning our attention to the defense,
Oh, I don't want to hear this.
determining that, when played together, the music box discs contained a message in Morse code was... well, it was certainly a most unexpected revelation, Counsel. Quite so, my lord. The prosecution was caught entirely off guard.
Like a shrimp.
In fact, I think we should applaud my learned friend's courage here today. I propose a toast. Demanding that government secrets be
Disseminated.
disseminated before the entire courtroom.
Very sorry about that. It was the only way I could. It was the only way that I could get Inspector Gregson to admit to what he'd done. So, if I may say something on that point, isn't that? Okay, I was gonna say it might be her because she could understand it.
Right.
It's about the sounds produced by the music box before. I do wonder if that was really Morse code at all. What are you saying, madam? Oh, well, it's just that I'm really rather fanatical when it comes to Morse code, you see. So much so that the whole world seems to be covered in dots and dashes to me, in fact.
Goodness, madam. An unhealthy level of doing your job, one feels.
Clearly. But I must say that, in my opinion, the sounds produced by those two discs were nothing more than that. Meaningless serious. That's supposed to be series. Meaningless series of two different notes, two different tones. What? Can that really be? It wasn't Morse code after all? Does that mean they failed to make it properly?
It's... yeah, I mean, it's possible Mason just didn't make it purposely on purpose.
Yeah, like they might have just fucked it up, right? That or it's like a different encryption.
Different encryption, yeah.
My lord, the defense would like to listen to the music box again. Oh, are you off your nut? How many times do I have to tell you? Those discs contain ministerial secrets, sunshine.
This courtroom is not an appropriate forum to discuss the nature of the government communications. We know McGilded conspired to trade national secrets with our enemies. Secrets acquired from Mr. Graydon. Now that the man has admitted to his crimes, we have no need to pursue the matter further.
Oh, dang it. But I want to know. But it's really going to bother me!
Miss Lestrade.
Yeah? Me lord?
That which you have seen today here in this courtroom has been extremely disturbing. Falsified evidence, intimidation, perjury,
Dumbass
a
jurors.
grim catalog of depravity. An appalling experience to befall any child.
Come on. That ain't nothing I don't see most days in the back slums.
I beg your pardon.
If you're weak, you pay for it. That's just how life goes. Gina. But, look. I reckon I've worked something out today. World ain't fair, but if you want it to change, you gotta start at some. You gotta change how you see yourself. Oh, sorry, you gotta start at home. Oh, my finger slipped there, hold on. You gotta start at home. You gotta change how you see yourself.
Well, that's a very laudable lesson, I would say. I eagerly look forward to the born-again Miss Lestrade, never gracing my courtroom with her presence again. Now, with regard to the murder of Mr. Pop Windybank, proprietor of a pawnbrokery business on Baker Street, I hereby declare the defendant, Miss Gina Lestrade, not guilty.
You think there'd be confetti if they were guilty, because they love killing people.
They love killing people.
They hate people being innocent.
Hey!
Aww. What's it gonna be? Okay, I wasn't sure if it was gonna make a silly face. That's right, we're still here.
That is all. Court is adjourned. Let's get drunk.
I feel like you should have faded out on the firework. Oh. Oh my
Okay,
god.
okay.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Got the cloak back on. Where's Susato?
On a personal note, I must say you've surprised me, my Far Eastern friend.
Oh.
Despite being Nipponese,
Excuse me.
you saw through the pretense to the malice that festered within that Englishman. And at the same time, saw through the grime to the surprising heart of your English client. You have a curious talent for judging character, especially considering our very different cultures.
I don't think there's anything curious about it. Whether we're from the Empire of Great Britain or the Empire of Japan, we're all human beings. We're not so very different on the inside.
You know, I took this case for one very shrimple reason. To lock swords with you once again, here in the courtroom.
You did.
When I encountered you for the first time 2 months ago, it reminded me
You knew Cosmo.
of toasting friendship and trust with another Nipponese, only to find my trust betrayed. Through you, I hope to look into the eyes of the man I once knew and try to understand.
You mentioned something similar earlier today. About total betrayal at the hands of the Japanese. What happened exactly?
Well, you may ask. And one day, when the time comes, you will learn the answer. Whether you like it or not.
Alright. Then I'll wait for that day if I must.
Coming to be known as the Reaper of the
Coming.
Bailey.
Sorry.
And my retirement from service 5 years ago. It gives me cause to wonder our meeting has some deeper purpose.
Our mating has some deeper purpose? My. I'll get deeper. How many do you have?
So, farewell, my learned Nipponese fellow. Until we meet again.
He just dissolves. It's done. It's over at last. Fuck. But where's Iris disappeared to? Oh. Congratulations, Gina. I knew it all along. I knew that you were innocent. Well, you did what you said, Mr. Naruto, though. You believed in me, right up to the end. You're as odd as your name. What's odd about it? I told you I had faith in you, didn't I? Let's see that smile. No one ever has before, see? Kept a promise, I mean. Properly. That's awful. I've figured something out today. All me life. Growing up in the slums. Never trusted no one. That's just cause I've been scared of being stabbed in the back. I mean, the more you trust someone, the more it hurts when they let you down. Yes, I think I can understand that. After all, I had a taste of it in that trial 2 months ago. I chose to trust someone and do my fucking job and paid for it. And got paid for it, hopefully. That betrayal left a big scar. You know though, Gina, I worked something out quite recently too. Trusting in someone else is really an exercise in learning to trust yourself. And when your gut tells you it's the right thing to do, and your trust is rewarded, there's no better feeling in the world. I think I have you to thank for reminding me of that valuable lesson. Oh. Well, if you say so. Don't make a fat lot of sense to me, though. I'm trying to say that putting my faith in you, Gina, has been a real pleasure. Cry out loud, pack it in! But I suppose I sort of feel the same way. I mean, sometimes trusting someone else is, you know, alright. Thanks. This is the way I see it, Ryunosuke. A defense lawyer is only as good as his faith in his client. And that comes down to how much faith he has in himself. After this experience, I'm starting to feel like I understand what you mean. Kazuma. Am I living up to your expectations? Am I turning out to be the lawyer you believed I could be? Holy shit, yeah, like Jesus Christ, dude. Have you seen what you've done? Damn. Pardon the interruption. I guess it's... Oh god. Holmes, probably.
Oh my god! What the deuce does a man have to do to be noticed around here? My dear fellow.
Oh, that voice.
It's too late for that voice now, Mr. Naruhodo. I've been standing here, patiently in the corner of the room for an eternity.
I like how the other bailiff looked over.
Yes, it was me all along. I would have said when you finally noticed me. But you people, with your insensate babbling.
Ah! Mr. Sholmes!
Yes, it was me all along. You see.
Damn
No.
it.
Get back in the coffin.
Get back in the sexy Bobby outfit, you slut. Get sad again, you bitch. I'd assumed you'd been taken back to the hospital, to be honest.
Indeed, I was. But I managed to escape again.
Oh!
I happened to be aware of one or two foibles of the doctor who was tending to me. I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily issued me with a leave of absence.
This is the blackmail case. How very above board.
But enough of my adventures. That was a fine victory, Mr. Naruhodo. Your tireless efforts justly rewarded, I feel. Congratulations are in order. As a close friend, I tip my hat at you.
Oh, thank you. Some great detective you are. Great at being cold as ice, maybe.
Have I irked you in some way, Miss Lestrade?
While you've been having a snooze in your nice soft bed, some of us have been fighting for our lives.
Well, that bullet did cause me to lose a substantial amount of blood. It's true.
I guess we've all been... Oh.
Well, what? Oh. So I have indeed been feeling somewhat cold. Not perhaps as cold as ice, but, well, have a feel.
Grabs his ass. Nice! Oh god! Could you take your hands off my neck, please, Mr. Sholmes? Don't get too turned on, everyone.
And, in some way, I suppose, congratulations are in order for you too, Miss Lestrade.
What's that supposed to mean? Why so half-hearted?
Well, naturally, it isn't my intention to alarm you, but... an acquittal in a trial with that particular prosecutor is perhaps a little... precarious?
Well done, Mr. Sholmes. Not alarming in the slightest. Oh, the Reaper, you mean? Because anyone who's found not guilty in a trial he was working on winds up dead anyway, is that it?
The very point I was trying to make. As exemplified by the fate of Mr. McGilded, in fact. But of course, I pay no attention to such irrational drivel myself.
Yeah, well, it don't bother me.
Oh, really?
Well, it should. I'm gonna kill you now. Of course not. The way I see it, the Reaper's a bit like him upstairs. Him upstairs? You mean, like God? Yeah. Him upstairs knows what's what, right? He knows what people are like on the inside. He won't have got the wrong end of the stick. There's some coves like that bog trotter what are rotten to the core. At the end of the day, him upstairs makes sure they get what they deserve. Ah, a good Christian girl.
You've read the Bible, haven't you, Mr. Naruhodo?
I don't know what that is. What?
What?
Well, you can't adopt me or marry me, I guess, whatever, if you're not Christian. I suppose that's one way of looking at it. Divine justice is one thing, though. The Reaper taking matters into his own hands and claiming lives is another. Well, I ain't like the McGildeds of this world, so I ain't scared. I got principles, see?
A trait in you which is to be admired, Miss Lestrade.
Alright, just give it a rest, alright?
As I was saying, congratulations are in order. The news of your acquittal was very welcome news to me indeed. Let me express my heartfelt congratulations Gina.
Well, there you are, Lee! How long have you been here? Honestly, I went to the main entrance especially to meet you there.
Ah, Iris, my dear. I do apologize. But, wait until I tell you what happened. This pair made utter fools of themselves.
What happened?
As you know, I have a penchant for disguise. I was hiding in this room, dressed as a bailiff. But these stolts didn't notice my presence at all. They had no idea. Can you imagine, Iris? Would you credit it?
I'm not sure, really.
I beg your pardon.
I'm sorry, Hurley, but you just don't have the weighty presence you seem to think you have. Ooh. In fact, you really ought to be careful about that. It's gonna land you in trouble one day.
I'll be careful.
Ouch! Iris runs this shit. This is her country. Anyway, it's such a shame. I was so hoping to throw a party for Jenny tonight, but you won't be able to come, will you? Don't look like I'm gonna be going nowhere for a while. You heard the judge's patter. I got stuff to make amends for, apparently. All them offenses. What was it again? Breaking and entering, taking the bog trotter stuff, what was in log, blah, blah, blah. Yes, I think you'll find that basically being a pickpocket is the main offense. Diving ain't an offense. It's a job, isn't it? I don't think so. Still, that has got me thinking all this. Maybe I should start looking for another line of work. I mean, you didn't start off as a lawyer, did you, Odo? Well, no. But I was never a pickpocket. Well, anyway, I reckon I can make a change. I'm gonna do something for all them lot like me from the slums. Something that makes a difference for them. It's a wonderful idea, Jenny. And I'm sure you can do it. How do British people laugh? How do you laugh with a British accent? What is it? Nothing. Miss Gina Lestrade. Prison carriage has arrived, ma'am. Come with me to the rear gate at once. Right. Well, looks like I'm off then. Yes. Goodbye, Gina. Good luck. Odo. Yes? Oh, what was that for? I don't know. I mean, I don't know what to say, so... Now I'm over here.
Indeed.
This is one of them so-called Japanese tsunderes.
Perhaps the situation calls for a phrase hitherto missing from your vocabulary, Miss Lestrade.
Eh?
On occasions such as this,
Just give him a hug.
I would recommend a simple thank you.
Oh. Oh, yes! It's good advice, Ginny! Right, I see. Well... Thanks, Odo. Thank you for everything, what you've done. For believing in me. Quick F12. Get that screenshot. Not at all. In fact, that should be my line. Thank you, Gina. Everyone looks better without their hats in this game, I just realized. What the hell's with these fucking hats? Well, there she goes. Wonder if I'll ever see her again.
Well, well. Quite the indomitable pick purse.
We should adopt her. Oh, I nearly forgot about... I bought a paper outside. There's already a different one? It's a special edition, and this trial is all over the front page. Pickpocket's innocence proven. Isn't it wonderful? Ah. You should have shown it to Gina, Iris. She would have been thrilled. Fuck! How silly of me. Ah, but anyway, would you like the good news or the bad news? Not again. But what do you say, Bruno? Hurley? As usual, I think I'd rather get the bad news out of the way first.
Absolutely not. I have no intention of listening to anything but good news.
And there you have it. How people answer that question says a lot about them, doesn't it? Let's not go there. Alright then, maybe let's start with the good news this time. The rain has finally stopped. It was a record level of rainfall, apparently.
Well, that is good news. That is good news indeed. We can journey back in greater comfort.
We can go see Susato off then, I think is what's about to happen.
Yeah.
Alright then, what's the bad news? Yep. The huge storm has left the seas very choppy. The channel in particular is awful, so sailings out to Dover have been delayed by a day or more. Wait, Dover? That's right. We head to the station immediately. We may still make it in time to wave Susie off. But there won't be a train, surely. We couldn't be that lucky.
I made one.
We're going to run.
Yeah, we're going to run. Who do you think I am, Mr. Naruhodo?
Mr. Sholmes?
I rushed to Victoria Station earlier and made arrangements for a special express. If we hurry now, we shall be there in time for dinner.
Dinner's at like 3 p.m. It's like 5 o'clock. It's bedtime. What are you talking about?
Fine restaurant that serves the most delicious baked sole.
Baked what? I don't. The Great Detective does it again.
Indeed he does! I happen to be aware of a number of the rail transport director's foibles.
I like this angle. What?
I merely made my knowledge of them known to the man, and he happily laid on the locomotive. Elementary!
Elementary, my dear Naruhodo. Just an idea, but it might be wise to stop manipulating people that way. It's a good way to get killed. What are we waiting for then? To London, Victoria. Wow.
Hey, look, a horse.
What? I don't. What the? what are you talking about? That's not. Like, oh fuck! Hold on. That's not, oh no. I keep moving the whole image. I'm trying to like put something over it on the stream overlay. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't see a fucking horse.
Oh.
Yeah, that's not real. Hold on, let me put that back where I want it. I should just leave it in the center of the screen. Just right there. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Cool. Damn. It's been 12 hours.
Yeah. That took somewhat longer than I had anticipated.
Good thing there were people on the train to eat so I could get my blood back. You see, I was aware of many of their foibles.
Wait.
And if they didn't let me eat them, I would have let it be known to the world.
No. It's they get off the train and they have to rush to the docks. And he sees a horse and he's like, "Wait a minute, guys! I know what to do." And he eats the horse. It's there. I'm strong enough now to get.
And now there's no horses, and Alex's theory remains correct. Aren't I just the best? Anyway, that took somewhat longer than I had anticipated. Susie's boat must be about to leave. Susato, where are you? Over there, look! Looks like she's reading something.
Hold it!
Miss Susato, wait! What are you doing? Mr. Naruhodo! What are you doing here? We came as soon as we could after the trial. I mean, we heard that sailings were being delayed due to the bad weather, you see. Oh. I see. Then tell me, how did Gina's trial go? Oh my god. It went well.
We took down the British government, Susato.
She was acquitted. It's wonderful. Really wonderful news. The book you were about to throw into the sea. It was your encyclopedia of British law, wasn't it? Oh dear. I was hoping you hadn't seen that. I'm not worthy of practicing law in any way now. So I was saying my final farewell. You were saying goodbye to law? You? Susato-san?
Would I be correct in assuming it's because of the people, Miss Susato?
This is the worst part. No.
Yeah, no, it's
This
pretty
is
bad.
so dumb. This is a bit contrived. I deliberately altered the scene of the crime. And then I tried to hide the fact. What I did is utterly unforgivable. That reminds me. How did you even come to have this, Susie? On the evening of the incident, Mr. Sholmes had invited Gina to dinner, if you remember. Oh yes, we had a wonderful time. Well, Gina gave us a little introductory lesson, didn't she? To the art of pickpocketing, I mean. Oh, that was so much fun. I stole Runo's armband. Yes, please don't do that again, Iris. That band's very important to me. Well, if it's so important, you should pay more attention to it. You didn't notice for ages. I was drunk. On a whim, I thought it would be fun to see if I could take the cat flap-o-matic. So I put it up my sleeve. Really? And then I rather forgot about it until I found myself in Mr. Windybank's shop with it later that night. I see. And then... Mr. Sholmes! Mr. Sholmes! Leave me, Mr. Naruhodo. Right. After Mr. Naruhodo had left the shop, I started to think. That door started to play on my mind. The storeroom door, you mean? Yes. If Gina was anywhere in the shop, I realized it could only be behind that door. And at that moment, the little device that I had up my sleeve sprang to mind. I was so worried about Gina, I simply had to know. So you use the cat flap-o-matic to make the peephole in the door. I guess this is like a posthumous realization for her. Is like, oh fuck, I shouldn't have done that. Because there was a crime scene. But still, like, fucking Christ.
No, it doesn't make sense.
You're gonna break down the door eventually. It's captured in the photographic print of the shop. By one of Hurley's red-handed recorders.
Indeed. It was of the first importance, that point. Precisely when the peephole was made. That information would prove to be Mr. Naruhodo's greatest weapon. Though naturally, without proof, it would have amounted to nothing.
But when I looked through the hole in the door, the sight that met my eyes made my blood run cold. Thoughts started to run through my mind. I remembered that trial 2 months earlier. The trial of Magnus McGilded. I thought about how he had manipulated the evidence and arranged false testimony to secure his freedom. It made the British justice system feel very dark and sinister to me. And then a terrible thought occurred to me. What if some wicked criminal was planning to do the same thing now? Because from the appearance of the crime scene, it looked exactly as though Gina had shot Mr. Windybank. Even though I was sure she would never have done such a thing. You were worried that the true culprit would try to frame her for the crime? That's right. But then I realized it would be very difficult for anyone to give false testimony in this case. What do you mean? That's all we got. Well, the crime appeared to have happened behind the door of a locked room. For someone to claim falsely to have witnessed it, there would have to be a way to see beyond the door. Oh.
For which, a peephole would be the very thing.
Only the peephole I had made... It sounds like we're saying people. The peephole. People. Only the peephole I had made was... That's a peephole. Only the peephole I had made wasn't actually there until after the crime had been committed, of course. And the criminal would know that, so it wouldn't make any difference.
But the possibility of a rather ingenious trap was there, was it not?
A trap? Is that why she did it? So, is that why you kept it a secret, Susie? You never mentioned that you made that peephole to anyone. Not even to the police. I know. And I knew at the time what I was doing was wrong. A criminal offense, even. That's why I decided to confide in Mr. Sholmes. If Mr. Naruhodo was completely backed into a corner, with no other possible means of escape, the truth about the peephole could save him. That was my plan. She really does think of everything. But then, why didn't you just tell me everything before the trial began?
My dear fellow, you're not thinking straight.
Not with you standing there.
If she had done that, it would have rendered you complicit in the whole escapade. You could have been disbarred if you had been seen to have knowingly tampered with a crime scene.
But it's fine when you just present evidence that you made up and found on your own.
So Miss Sasato decided to shoulder the burden of responsibility alone. For your sake, and Miss Lestrade's.
Good work, I guess. Miss Sasato, Could you determine exactly what year this game takes place based on the date we were given in this moon phase?
Maybe.
The truth is, when it happened, I did it because I'd lost a little of my faith in the law. Good! No, you shouldn't. No, the law is evil. It's mostly good. I mean, nah, fuck the law. Chaos route, baby.
The law is evil. The chaos, good.
I was worried that the right person wouldn't be convicted of the crime. But the moment I allowed myself to think that is the moment I lost my rights to call myself a judicial assistant. What you did isn't comparable to what he did. Graydon is the one who lied in the witness stand using the peephole as a way to implicate Gina. And besides, if the peephole inconsistency hadn't existed, I'm not at all sure that she would have been acquitted in the end. Miss Susato, what you did saved Gina's life. Well, with your kind words, Mr. Naruhodo, you've saved me too. From my regrets. Hug? It's not hug? Like, anyone.
Yeah. My arms are always open.
Yeah.
Well,
Iris
we
would
must
give us a
all
hug.
be... Yeah. Well, we must all be thankful that Miss Lestrade's freedom has been assured.
Yes, exactly. Although some of the loose ends in that trial will continue to play on my mind, I'm sure. But the revelation that the music box disc contained secret messages, Mr. Naruhodo, that was fucking awesome! Well, actually, that argument wasn't quite as compelling as I thought it was. Oh? It wasn't? There was a communications officer among the jury member, you see. A telegraph operator. And she said that the majority of the sound on the disc were just meaningless tones.
As one would expect. After all, we are talking about secret government communications. No doubt, they were written in cipher to avoid being readily understood, should they have been intercepted.
In cipher? I see. So then we could never have hoped to understand the message anyway.
Nonsense, my dear fellow. It's quite a zero-pipe problem, I assure you.
What?
Capcom stance on sex. Zero pipe.
Hey! Yeah, zero pipe. Yeah, fucking dude. Hey! So...
Sogi!
Whoa! Whoa! What? Well, that can't be a real word, can it? How funny. Wait! Iris, what did you just say? Oh, I just said Asogi. Does that word mean something to you? Mean something? Asogi was the name of my best friend! What? But how? How do you know that name, Iris? I wrote it down during the trial before, when the message was playing on the music box. Jesus Christ, she's too strong. She transcribed it on the fly? She really is a genius. I thought the message probably wouldn't be written out in plain Morse code, so I tried various ways to interpret it. But whatever I tried, the words just didn't seem to make any sense.
I had all three of my brains working it out on it at once.
That is... in English, at least. Oh. It suddenly occurred to me, you see. There's more than one Morse code. Not just the English variety.
Oh my god, it's gibberish. Oh, she can understand it.
Various countries around the world have altered and added to Morse code to use it in their own languages. It was Japanese.
Of course, it was in fucking Japanese.
Ugh. Oh!
Oh,
The Japanese!
man.
I should have seen that coming. I don't believe it. Are you saying... That's right. I've only actually seen a chart of Japanese Morse code once before.
I think it's based.
But I think it's based on the Iroha pangram, isn't it? And you mean to say that in Japanese Morse code, the message says asogi? That's it? That's all of it? Yes, I think so. Sorry, but I don't remember all the Japanese Morse code. Holy shit. Iris, would you let me see that? Miss Susato, do you know it? Do you know Japanese Morse code? Yes. I spent some time studying it. Well, that's convenient. Because I'm quite sure Morse code will become ever more important for international communications.
Then might I recommend, my dear madam, that you focus your efforts on the English version.
Be that as it may. Iris, show me the message, please. Of course. But what can this possibly mean? Whatever is in that long sequence of supposedly meaningless dots and dashes, it's made the color drain from Susato-san's face. There's no doubt that this message is written in Japanese Morse code. So the British Empire has been using Japanese for its secret communications. I don't understand the reason why, but the message appears to be a list of 4 people's names. 4 names. The first is Kei Asogi. Kazuma Asogi. Why? Why was his name on that disc? The second is A. Shin. Shin. I don't recognize that name. The third is T. Gregson. Tobias Gregson.
Greguson.
He was Japanese the whole time. Tobiasu Gregson.
Greguson.
Gregson?
It would seem Tobias Gregson is the 3rd man on the list.
Gregson is the most important character in this series, apparently. And what's his name doing in secret government communications?
Yeah, no, like that doesn't make sense.
And the last name, it's gonna be Mikotoba, or it's gonna be ours.
Naruhodo.
Yeah. Our Naruhodo. What's the matter, Miss Susato? It's just so strange. So unexpected. Oh, what is it, Susie? Don't keep us in suspense.
It's P. Wright.
Last name is J. Wilson.
Whoa.
What was the second one again?
Shin.
Asian.
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 They're Asian. Asian. Okay. What? Wilson. John H. Wilson? You mean Daddy? My dear fellow. It says only J. Wilson, so I'm afraid I can't be sure. Then after the 4 names it reads, if I translate from Japanese. That is all 4. What the fuck? And that's the end of the message. Or rather, the end of what you noted down, Iris. I just can't believe it. Who would ever have thought that those discs contain Japanese Morse code? Not to mention a strange list of some disturbingly familiar names.
It would appear that this particular message is a communication of some kind between Great Britain and the Empire of Japan.
So, Daddy could be in Japan then. Where Susie and Runo come from. Oh! Well... No. It's not very likely, really, is it? I mean, there are thousands of people with the surname Wilson. And there must be a lot of J's among them. Professor John H. Wilson, visiting professor of medicine at the Imperial Yume University. But we can't tell Iris about that now. We just can't. She could take it. She could handle it. She's a big girl. She's smarter than all of you. This is so strange. Somehow in solving the case of Mr. Windybank's murder today, I feel like I've rolled back a boulder at the mouth of a very dark cave. I do wonder if perhaps it's a dark cave that we shouldn't go wandering inside.
Honk.
Right. Oh dear. The ship is going to set sail soon. Yes, it seems so. I'll sail on that steamship first to the port of Dunkirk in France. Then I'll change onto a larger passenger vessel bound for Japan. You're really going then, Susie?
We wish you a safe passage, Mr. Sato.
Thank you so much. I wish you all the very best. Miss Susato! I had hoped to have you always at my side. To guide you and support me. Mr. Naruhodo. Please.
Yeah, geez, I know.
Please come back soon. As far as I'm concerned, you really are the very best judicial assistant in the world.
Hey.
I'm quite sure I'll be back before you know it. Really, Susie? Oh, now don't forget, Iris. I made you a promise I've yet to fulfill. Promise? About your manuscript. Oh. Oh, yes. The Hound of the Baskervilles. You mean the Hound of the Baskervilles. I happen to have it with me right here. Well, I'll be waiting for you then, Susie. A promise is a promise. Definitely, Iris. Mr. Naruhodo. Yes? Do you remember the first time we met? Yes, of course. No, you dumbass! On the SS Buria when I was dragged out from that wardrobe, still half asleep. If I remember rightly, you threw me halfway across the cabin with a Susato takedown. You know very well that I'm talking about after that.
No, you dumbass.
What? They're stupid. What the hell? It's strange, but being thrown together as we were in that case, I somehow felt straight away that you were the perfect person to continue Kazuma-sama's great legacy. Mr. Sato. My instincts were right. I really want to believe. No. I'm sure that I'll be back soon. Farewell until then. And don't you dare get with any of them white skanks. I'll know. I'll smell them. Alright, don't hit any icebergs.
Somehow we seem to have come to the end of the adventures of Ryunosuke Naruhodo. Or the first volume, at least.
They brought the cat.
Looking back now, it feels as though fate has led me on this journey. Fate led me to becoming a lawyer, to traveling halfway around the world, to meeting the great detective. I'm sure there'll be trials and tribulations ahead.
Oh, good.
Of course there will.
Of course.
I like that one.
But whatever happens, I know I'll be able to turn my fortunes around.
You brought the fucking violin with him.
Okay, maybe he is fuckable.
No, he's mad fuckable.
I have the greatest friends in the world on my side.
Yes. Mr. Naruhodo,
Yes, Mr. Sholmes?
I have some rather awkward news.
We're evicting you.
The railway company has decided to sue over the Special Express train. Apparently. I'm in need of a lawyer.
Huh? It caused such a commotion on the line, all the other trains had to wait at stations. Nice.
But really, we would never have made it to Dover in time otherwise. Anyway, I explained everything, and how it was all your fault.
Huh? Huh?
I believe a formal complaint should be delivered to your office tomorrow. But not to worry, my dear fellow. According to Mr. Sato,
You love defending yourself in court. Huh? 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 It's alright, I'm perfectly happy to testify. You really didn't look like the sort of man who'd do something so outrageous. See? Here it comes. There it comes. Mr. Sholmes. Yes?
yes.
A word if you don't mind.
Why, certainly. Any word you like. Bellow it out, my dear fellow.
Oh yes, I love Reno's words. I know just the one he'll use here.
Fuck!
And I really must say,
Objection.
I smack my screen to high five him.
Alright.
This game came together really well at the end.
Somehow you managed to cobble it together.
This is
too.
the worst Ace Attorney still.
The following weeks, hundreds of music boxes arrived at Baker Street from all over Europe. Something was afoot. Though it transpired, I had ordered them all myself. So I advertised them for sale with used by Mr. Sholmes to solve an important case. And the money I have earned consulting detective work pays a pittance by comparison.
Alright, we'll talk more in a second. Aw, I haven't slept a wink. The manuscript is due tomorrow now. When I'm this busy, Hurley usually cooks me breakfast. Well, cooks is an overstatement for some dry toast and insipid coffee. I do miss Susie and her lovely Japanese breakfasts. There were some good tracks in this game. For the most part, I'm not a huge fan of this kind of music. Witness, your testimony is riddled with contradictions.
Exactly! Rarely do rare coupon coins hide under rare stakes themselves!
Well, I don't know, sir. Knows his father is an innocent man, or you call my son a liar.
Witness, my courtroom is no place for your petty arguments.
We're gonna have to do them all.
Yeah,
the final test is here.
Yeah, no, literally fighting the credits.
Oh god. Having delivered the Russian dancer to shore in Shanghai, I laid low on the steamship for a while. But last night, I apprehended an extremely suspicious Japanese national on board. I've done nothing wrong! All I did was give Wakahai's offspring refuge in my pocket! A man brings some kittens on board and suddenly he's a hardened criminal. It's not fair! Kittens! That's funny. Scientific investigation will be the gold standard for policing in the new age. I dream of a world governed by the tenets of order and discipline. Also, I'm madly corrupt, like a great clock, in fact, whose hundreds of parts match together in perfect unison. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have but 2 minutes and 37 seconds until my next appointment. We're not starting the next stream that fast, dude. This is the equivalent of a Bayonetta boss rush during the credits for us, yes. The last Ron's magazine is out, and I'm in it again. Whenever I say that one line she wrote now, I get standing ovation. Wanna hear it? Not bad, I suppose, for an amateur. Her ladyship puts me to shame. Been visiting the old girl on a daily basis, of course. Joni, my old jailbird. She got arrested. Must say, battling with those bally stares every day has done wonders for the dicky bag, whatever the fuck he said. Managing rather well with the housework, too. Got this maid business taped up, I'd say. Hope the gossiping neighbors don't realize the man of this house is his own maid. You put on the outfit? She got arrested for that, huh?
But she threw a knife out the window and it stabbed somebody in the back.
Like it's a freak accident, though. But, like, yeah, I guess you get arrested for that.
It's reckless endangerment.
Yeah, that's fair. My Rolly is back on the beat again! All thanks to the Reaper!
There's nothing I enjoy more these days than hunting out a small change in the gutter. I'm a better Bobby now, looking for Londoners, their dropped pennies, and my lovely wife. Oh, Pat!
How Rolly! Oh, that's just great. Happy for these two, really.
I'm happy.
Somehow. My man just wanted to get laid. Looks like I'm gonna be doing time for a bit now. But Iris comes every day for a natter, so it ain't too boring. She's always going on about all them cases what Sholmes is looking into. Criminal investigations are kinda interesting when you get into them. Gina, assistant 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 Gina, assistant. Please, 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 please. I know she's coming back.
Lestrade's a detective. She's showing back up.
Yes, I renounced my upbringing and chose a life of sophisticated crime. But regrets? Please.
Give over, bruv. I ain't that Nashville used to know.
We got time in here to plan the comeback of Melverton and Skulkin's milk run, right? the three musket what's it? Milking the neighborhood for all it's worth.
Wow.
That's beautiful.
Love these
I'm glad he
guys.
did it.
Love these guys. It was a good cast. Like the problems with this game were not. Oh my God! It's the past ghost of Susato. This past 6 months has been a time I shall remember evermore. Painful goodbyes and wonderful encounters. I've come to realize that that's what life's all about. Naruhodo-san, I promise, your assistant will return to you one day. An adventure's endgame, but for now I leave you with many memories and a heartfelt wish that life will treat you well. There it is.
There it is, yeah.
He's in there. He's on him.
Look at him. Look at him.
Oh, what a great picture. Really came around on Sholmes.
Oh, he was the Larry Butts, of course.
Yeah, he kind of was. Yeah, I think that's kind of fair. Whoa. Whoa.
Oh, this would be the DS. Something's happening on the bottom screen right now.
Yeah. Look at that fucking Chad walk.
Dude.
Whoa. Cosmo's just gonna like disappear once he passes these witnesses. But yeah, like they really brought it together in the end here, and like knowing that this is a duology. These two games were written at like the same exact time. Has me really excited for the next game because like there's not going to be the growing pains that we had experienced here. I do hope they also kind of figured it out. Man, Cosmo's got gay boots on too. What the hell? All right, Cosmo, just fall over. It'll be funny. Damn it. But I would still say, in totality, this is the weakest Ace Attorney we've played. It probably its cases like averaged,
Yeah.
lower than most other games, and oh. Wonderful. Find out what might have happened with her. The most normal witness in the Ace Attorney series. Oh, he's gonna take it. I'm gonna start running. This is really cool. But like, first case, fine. It's an opening case. It's kind of a weak opening case. It was all right, but compared to other opening cases, I think it was definitely on like the lower end. The boat was unfortunate. The boat was kind of shit. You are introduced to Sholmes, and like he is not very likable right away, and then you're introduced to the shit ass mechanic system of the deduction extravaganza, whatever the fuck it's called.
Yeah.
Not very fun. I did not like it at all. I don't think there was a single one that I was like I really liked. I mean, maybe there was like one moment in them that I was like, oh, okay, cool, but for the most part, it was fluff, and it really only served to elongate investigation sequences that weren't needed. The pacing of all the cases were bad because it was all investigation into all trial, which I don't really like.
Yeah, and the Victor Sholmes.
Oh yeah, I missed it for a second. Oh, I never saw how cute their outfits were, where they're all patchwork.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah. Oh god, full Soseki. He was even wearing inch-high clogs. That is one tiny dude. Oh my god, she's so tiny. But yeah, like this crew here, namely Sholmes and Iris, I think like were really, really good here.
Yes.
Susanna was okay. She's not Maya. And they're not gonna be Maya.
Yeah, Ritsuke got there a little bit, but he's also just not Phoenix.
This guy is
Like,
enormous. Holy fucking shit.
The Skulker Brahma!
Is Gina gonna walk in? But yeah, then like the third case was good. I would say the third case was good.
It was good. Oh, yeah, sure.
It was interesting. She's not walking in. I would say the third case was very good.
You said third case, I was thinking knife out the window case, but no, you're talking about McGilded.
Yeah, I'm talking about the McGilded case. Good. Like B+ maybe not A.
Yeah, but it was good. Yeah, no, I agree. That case was good.
Fourth case might be one of the worst in the series.
Yeah, that one.
If you wanted to give that one a fat fucking F, I'd be like, yeah, sure. And then this case, not the best.
Very nice.
It's got a heart though. But like compared to the other final cases in the series, like it gets there. It has some pretty special moments. It does the thing oh man. Whoa. Bald. Can't even save. Right. So obviously we're not gonna start. Yeah, we're gonna get back to this. Sooner rather than later, I think, because I'm very interested to see how this all plays out for the second game. But like I said, I'm gonna maybe see if we can throw something else, maybe like shorter form in there, just to break it up for now. We gotta finish the SMC highlight video. I have to start fucking working on the Zero Escape series highlight video, or else it's never being made. I have to personally finish P3 before Metaphor comes out, or I'll never forgive myself. But I'll figure stuff out. You might not see me for like a week or so here, or maybe in 5 days I go, I need to play this game right now. I want to play Chronicles 2, whatever it's called, right? But we'll see. But as for other thoughts on the game, it's I don't know. There's much more to say. Like I think that last case ended up being really good by the end. It found its pace, and turns out you don't need the summation examination for that. That mechanic didn't need to be there. But I think this game, I think like the core issue with this game, and one of the problems with Ace Attorney is the more it opts to talk about like the law mechanic system or the lack of reasonability within, in this case with the jury, it gets really frustrating on the player's side.
Yeah.
And I get that you're supposed to be the underdog. It needs to be against you.
Yeah.
But like the first few Ace Attorneys did this without it ever needing to feel like you were getting just like fucked over nonstop. It was a very chaotic game, like with the jury popping up whenever the game deemed it to matter. Information being doled to you from the jurors was like, cute idea. I'm really more interested in the prosecutor doing this, because that's what made 1 and 3 so good, I think. And, you know, Francisco was fine too. But, like, Edgeworth and Godot knew how to fucking play your ass. Hell, I didn't like Clavier that much. He knew how to play you. Zeke's was just kind of a douche the whole time. and really just kind of told you to fuck yourself a lot, which I didn't appreciate. So that bit was definitely like a ubiquitous issue I found with this kind of game, but it still had the heart of Ace Attorney. It's still good. I still had fun. I'm not looking forward to re-watching these for highlights, because I'm going to have to hear myself do a British accent for 90% of this game. And that sucks. But oh well.
So thank God we ended it yesterday. Didn't push through.
I was just about to say, I just looked at how long we've been streaming, and I'm like, dude, that's a fucking good thing we did that. Good thing we did that. But all right, thanks guys. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll be back with Resolve soon enough. See you then.